entertained while I do this. So. To entertain with your heavy breathing. That's
what. Still, come on.
I can tell you. You should listen. You should listen back to this, and you'll see. What
I will have to right there in the beginning. I'll have to go back.
Yeah,
it's like 2 inches from my thing.
Well, now it's not. But I mean, I guess it's at certain times it like gets closer. I don't know. It's like just like there was like a second ago. It reared its ugly head.
Yeah. So. Well, it's not like Bobby Gass blowing his nose.
No.
I like Bobby mute.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that.
We're not at your house, literally, we are kind of at your house, but we don't really have to be. It's like, all right. So
all right, well, I pull this a little away. But then one time I listened to it and I sounded so far away too. So maybe I just got projectile voice. Because I can't hear nothing in the headphones.
You're a DJ, you should be used to that stuff.
I wasn't a DJ, we're programming. I did some more little. I did that little, that little bit and a couple little things, but of course that was like 30 years. I'm thinking now that's like 33 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie.
It's Eddie, Terry, Wasaga, George, Cleveland. Yes.
And actually, that's what I kind of brought back the Monsters of Rock this weekend. It was yesterday. It was 35 years ago that this tour kicked off, and I saw that show. So I was like,
"What's up, y'all?
What's happening,
Steve? What's happening, man?"
Man, how you guys doing?
All right, man. I was at I had a busy weekend. I was out in Moline for my nephew's graduation from college.
Good old Moline, huh?
Yeah, Moline, the Quad Cities. I came back. I was at my parents' house, and when I got home, I went over to a music fest downtown or north side over here.
Any bands we know?
Maybe the Freddie Jones band, but probably not. It's not. They were just he's a local band, been around for about 35 years. And then there's a reggae band called, I think it's Giazis. They've toured around, but so I caught those two, had some food, came back.
All right. So
made it just in time.
Just get this started the right way.
With some Thin Lizzy.
Hope everybody has their list. So, well, yes.
You all set to go. And yeah, it was
I'm usually pretty confident about my list. I'm completely unconfident about. In 10 minutes I could come up with another list of 5.
I could easily come up with a list of 10.
Mine's really pedestrian. But let me ask you this: are we counting covers?
Yeah, you can do covers.
Yeah, you can
do all right. Yeah,
I have a cover on mine.
Yeah, no, I mean then that's fine. Yeah, I'll have.
Well, anybody who has Whiskey in a Jar, that's an old traditional song. So
yeah, so.
And they have a couple. They have like 3 or 4 traditional songs that they do.
Yeah, there's another one. It's a cover that I like.
But yeah, I was going. That's one of the few bands. Like I like Van Halen, but Van Halen's got albums I don't like and don't listen to. Thin Lizzy doesn't have an album that I don't love. I love all of their albums.
I love some of their albums more than others.
Well, yeah.
No, but yeah, when I was going through it too, there was like, oh man, there's that. But I mean, I just did it on the songs that I just know and love. I mean, they come on and I turn it up and I know every word and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of easy. But I mean, I did had a good selection of 10 or 11 that I had to kind of whittle down to 5. But
you can submit it whenever you want. But I mean, probably give it a couple of minutes, let more people get in there in Cleveland so they can see your list. So let's, get more visibility on the list.
Yeah, so it doesn't get lost in the feed there. Wait till we get up to this segment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily. The problem with Thin Lizzy with me is I like so many songs pretty much the same. There's only 2 or 3 that I would say are just my ride or dies. The rest there's a lot that are pretty much on the same plane.
Yeah, there's a good 30 songs I could have put on this list and been perfectly happy with.
Oh yeah, easy. I mean.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, okay, can I put more from one album? Do I need to spread it out? It's like
I did that too because I have 2 from the same album. And I was like, should I pick something from another album? I was like, no. Because those are actually 2 of my favorite songs. But
yeah, I'll have to admit, there was 2 albums that I really might listen to.
Well, I mean, most people would say to start off with Jailbreak, but for me, Bad Reputation is my favorite Thin Lizzy album. I mean,
got some bad. Did I put bad? No, yeah, I got 1 song from Bad Reputation.
I think I had 2 and. We'll see where they fall.
I mean, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough because there's so many really good songs, that are equal, to me. And everyone kind of shits on the Snowy White era, but I like a lot of the Snowy White stuff,
I like the Snowy White stuff. I love Eric Bell stuff too. I could have done 5 just with Eric Bell.
Did you go to that creator show, Steve?
So is that like a research budget there, Two Bar?
Did Creator play here?
Yeah, I saw Brett from
obviously he didn't. Obviously he didn't go.
Or the 19th or something like that. Yeah.
No, last weekend there were 2 shows I wanted to go to last weekend, but my dad was in town for the weekend. So I didn't end up doing anything. Like the last couple shows I was supposed to go to, like the one before that was Carcass, and I got sick and couldn't go. And then that was Carcass and Sacred Right. And then I was supposed to go see Hammerfall, and my daughter was having an orchestra concert the same night. I was like, fuck, man, I can't take a break.
That was. I think it was Friday. They just played. I think Friday was Halloween and Hammerfall.
Yeah.
They just played Friday night, and I was like, I had to go out to fucking Moline.
Yeah, so because I've always wanted to see Hammerfall, and so I was pretty disappointed.
Gotcha.
Now the next one's going to be the Misfits on, I think, the 21st. I'm going to see them.
Oh yeah. Did you see that dancing tour that he announced?
Yeah, I'm not.
I've never seen him, but
I've seen Dancing a bunch of times.
Have you? Okay. Yeah.
Most of my favorite songs were off the second and third album, though. If he was doing those, I'd be cool, but I don't want to hear the first album. Yeah, that's actually the one I listen to the least, even though it's probably some of his biggest hits.
Yeah, the Chicago show's probably going to conflict with another show I got. So
I could add 100. I mean, not 100, but I probably could at least had probably like 30. Easy.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, George, I literally have like 15 in my head right away.
I mean, I like entire albums. I mean, I could just,
Yeah, if we were doing top albums, I would have. That might have been easier.
And I like some of the real obscure stuff that they did too. That a few of the people on the panel would know, but a lot of people listening or watching wouldn't know.
I like some of their B-sides. I mean.
Oh yeah,
like Little Darling is a great B-side.
Yeah,
that's pretty predictable. So mine's gonna be predictable. So.
That's okay. Mine's not going to be predictable.
That's good. You guys.
At least I don't think so.
Like there's like 4 songs on that, like "Hero and the Madman." I've always loved that song, but most people watching probably wouldn't know it because Vagabonds just wasn't a big album for them.
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 really weren't. Shades of the Blue Orphanage, the self-titled.
Yeah, but a lot of their classic songs come from those, and people don't even realize, like the Rocker.
But they're only classic because other people covered them, like Metallica plays them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and Whiskey in the Jar's been covered by what?
Just post it in the chat, John, and just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just post it in the chat, and we'll highlight it. Did you say you did a good job, or you did a shit job? I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. It's all just subjective, so no one's going to do.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, if somebody would have, if during the Van Halen one, if someone would have put like 5 Gary Sharon songs, you would have said, "Okay, dude, that's a shit list."
Either that, or that's like you came in for some reason at that point and thought it was great. Yeah, it's kind of just where you come into it, or what you were exposed to first, and then you kind of attach to that.
Well, that's how Thin Lizzy is for me. Because Thin Lizzy, I mean, when I started, it was the the Live and Dangerous and freaking Jailbreak. That's where I started. That was my entry point, and that's really where I honed in on. And it wasn't until later, that I had friends when I went to college that were into Johnny the Fox and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I did get one off of Johnny the Fox. I actually thought there were going to be a couple, but I only got one.
Well, there's a lot of similar songs, I mean, It's like, so...
Well, Thunder and Lightning is that way, too. I thought about doing a couple from Thunder and Lightning, but then when I went back and listened to it, it just doesn't have the standout songs that a lot of the other... I like that whole album, but there's not the standout songs.
So you got 2 from Jailbreak.
Yeah.
You got 1 from Johnny the Fox, Bad Reputation.
1 from Fighting.
Yep.
Suicide, right?
Yeah, Suicide from Fighting.
Yeah, I love the Fighting album. That would have been a number 1 album.
See, that would have been harder for me to pick a number 1 album. That would have been.
Yeah, it would have been. It would be easy for me because Bad Reputation is my favorite. It's just
Bad Reputation would be 1 or 2.
Yeah, one's easy, but the other four is the problem. It's like,
Yeah.
Why can't you put it? You should be able to put it right there. You should be able to put it in the chat because you're chatting right now.
Yeah, just put it where you just typed.
Yeah, just put it in the chat right here.
oh yeah, the comments. You can't put nothing in the comments while we're live. Yeah.
Yeah, don't put anything in the comments on the video because no one will see it till afterwards. So
Yeah.
we want to see what you did now.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I
you
almost
can't-
put. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you could do it after the video, after the.
Yeah, you
Cold
can do that after the
Sweat,
video if you want. Yeah, for sure.
I almost put Cold Sweat. That would have been if we were doing
So
a
did
top.
I.
Cold Sweat
That's
would
what
have made it.
that's what I was gonna say. Cold Sweat was on my list.
Yeah, it was. I have it scribbled out at the top of my list actually.
Wow, you went with the Rocker, Suicide, Johnny, and Jailbreak. Interesting list there, Cleveland.
Yeah, Johnny's a great song too.
Ah, Bip, you made it.
What's up, John?
Brother
Ooh,
John.
Genocide is a great album. Or a great song.
Did you come prepared, John?
Oh, jeez, it's not going to be easy. I got it
Holy
narrowed
War.
down to.
I was thinking about Holy War. That's a great list, Jeff.
Well, you got it to 10? Is that what you're about to say, John? You got it down to 10?
Yeah, I got it to 10. I was thinking maybe we could do bigger lists and then narrow it down together. Like,
No, I'll give you
Yeah.
30 minutes to
yeah,
to
no, I
whittle
got
it
the
down to
list.
five.
I know what ones to cross out. Like, but
Okay.
it's not going to be. When I'm done, I can't say definitively these are the best.
No, that's what I
Right.
said
Five.
too. I said the same thing. I was
Okay.
like, I could do another list of my 5 favorite songs and it'd be 5 completely
Yeah.
different songs.
And then Sarah had made a list. I guess it was something on Instagram or something. She had to make a list of 5 Thin Lizzy songs. She said she could only narrow it to 10. But anyway, she's throwing names like songs at me that I didn't even think of. I'm like, oh man.
Stop.
Oh, wow, I forgot about Southbound. Southbound is like, especially the live version.
Yeah.
George, that's a great list too. I thought about Opium Trail. I love that song.
Don't Believe a Word's a great song. Yeah.
Southbound's on my list, but on my top 10.
Yeah.
I got a couple of
Which one,
later
Ash
ones,
or
like-
Thin Lizzy? I'm sorry, I'm talking to Ed, so sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, George has Angel of Death. I thought about that one. I love that song.
That's what I opened with. I mean, it was on my list, but I said, okay, well, I'll
Dancing in the
open with
Moonlight
it.
is a top 10 song all day long.
But
Yeah,
that's something that I've listened to so many times.
Yeah, it
you know,
didn't
it's
take
like-
my list either, but I love that song.
Yeah, especially like
Hey,
the sax solo.
Hey guys, hey Terry, George, Mick, Ed, Cleveland.
Wow, look at Andy G
Andy.
going with The Sun Goes Down. Wow.
She knows was a favorite too.
She knows I thought about that one.
I'm here-
Johnny the Fox Beats Give Me the Weed. That was on my list initially,
Yeah.
and I took it off.
Yeah, that didn't make my list, but geez, that might be one of my favorite records, and I love that song. But
I love the single cut of that too.
I don't know if I know that the single cut.
It's slightly. It's one of those where it's got the album cut and then the live cut on the B side, and the live cut's really good.
Yeah, I actually that might be one of the few songs that I prefer the album, the studio version, better than like the live version.
Yeah.
But I love the live version too.
Oh shit, I don't have a beer. Hang on.
It looks like Emerald. I got Emerald on my list.
Emerald's on my list. I think that's going to be one of the top ones.
It's got everything,
And that's a song that I've heard a million times. And I never get tired of hearing it.
yeah. But it's got the Irish thing. It's got the leads. It's got the whole package. Like if you had to sum up Thin Lizzy in one song, that would
I bet
be
that's their most covered out a song is Emerald. I know so many metal bands that have covered it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of the new wave of British heavy metal guys or new wave of traditional metal guys cover that song on their singles. And I think I've got like 3 or 4 different single versions of it from Thin Lizzy too, like different live versions that they did throughout the years. Oh, that's a great list too. Wild One, Sun Goes Down.
yeah.
Hero of the Madman. That was on my list, and I crossed
Little
it off.
deeper
I
ones.
love that song. The bass line on Hero and the Madman is so good. It's got like a Doors feel to it, the bass intro.
Yeah, some of these I need to re-listen to hear the specific parts.
Yeah, the Hero and the Madman has a real thick bass. The Doors like bass line coming in, and he's talking instead of singing for like the first minute of it.
Yeah, I couldn't do a full list. I mean, I had to listen to this stuff online because I don't have. This is all I got behind me.
Yeah.
So
I'd listened to like their their last like 4 albums, like a few months ago. I went through each record, but I don't always remember the songs on like Thunder and Lightning and.
I was talking about
Renegade.
That's exactly what I was saying. I love that album. There's not individual tracks that I love though. The whole album has like that real heavy sound.
Wild One was on my list. I love that song. So Wild One was totally on my list.
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much burned out on "Boys Are Back in Town," Michael.
Yeah, I don't think that's
far.
list.
The most played Thin Lizzy song of all time on the radio.
But yet, you know.
Oh, if it's not, I'm
get
singing along to it. Don't get me wrong, but
I would not play it. If somebody asked me to play a Thin Lizzy song, I would never play that song.
well, there's better songs on that album.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Emerald's on the album, you know. Emerald, the cowboy song, is on that album. I mean,
Warriors is on that album. Is on that album.
So if nothing
So far,
reputation.
but I mean, I had Cold Sweat on my list, but I took it. It didn't make the final cut. Yeah.
Cold Sweat was the first song I put on my list, and I took it off because there were just better songs for me.
That's on Sarah's list. She said, "Oh, Cold Sweat," and I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't even have
one
that
of their.
on.
It's one of their heaviest tracks.
All right. Do you think you want to Dancing in the Moonlight, Downtown Sundown? I like that song. I like Downtown Sundown a lot. That's a good. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any list that's bad. You know, every list has been really good.
Thin Lizzy doesn't have terrible songs, though. You know, it's not like bands that have really bad stuff.
I mean, I've got a couple of clunkers. I mean, if I go like what's Boogie Woogie Dance is not one of my favorites.
But most bands you can list whole albums that aren't good, whereas Thin Lizzy have maybe a couple songs.
Yeah, I don't dislike any Thin Lizzy album. So.
And not just their career. I mean, all the solo side projects were all really good too. Yeah. All the Gary Moore stuff was great. Phil's solo albums were fantastic.
There will be some. There will be some Gary Moore play tonight. So
yeah. What's crazy is he's probably the biggest name guitar player from the band, and he probably played the least in Thin Lizzy of all the other guitar players.
Yeah, I probably played on the least popular album.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I love Gary Moore too. I've got pretty much all of his albums and most of his singles.
So I played Wishbone Ash because they're kind of known for having the twin guitar attack, and that's kind of their kind of thing.
Yep.
So.
And they were actually the twin guitar attack that influenced Maiden.
Yeah.
People always think Thin Lizzy, but it's really was Wishbone Ash.
Wishbone Ash was a funny one though. They like this album's really heavy, and then they would do kind of a weak album, or they would like totally change their sound, and then they have another one that's real heavy and really good.
Yeah, I only have.
Kind of a
Are you
trippy
changing
band.
your list, Terry, every 5 minutes? Is that what you're doing? Are you changing your list and just posting it again? So, I do like 19. That's a great song. About Tango George. That's a good. But it's not a. Johnny the Fox, Toughest Street. This is the toughest. Whiskey in a Jar. Boys Are Back in Town. The Rocker.
Yeah, Toughest Streets on my list.
Yeah, you got a mix of old and new and.
Yeah, the Rocker. What's that? Their second album?
Third, I think it was the third one.
Is it?
It was on Vagabond. Yeah, I think so.
Chinatown's a good one too. I think you're the first one to mention it, Mike. I love that song.
I do have a song off Chinatown on my list.
One.
Cowboy Song, Emerald, Jailbreak, Chinatown, and Johnny Foot. Well, you got your top 3 are all from the same album.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess you're probably about 59 to 62, Mike, if I'm just guessing.
Or he's got the live album, right?
I thought about listing a couple of live tracks and decided to just stick with the album tracks.
I have one live track on mine.
I thought about it. Yeah, music styles were just changing when Chinatown came out. That's a great album, but people were kind of moving on from that 70s sound at that point.
Oh, I thought the structure of the song was so good on that album. The production was great, and I just thought the songwriting was great on that album. Better than Renegade. I like Renegade a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, Renegade's probably the album I listened to the least from Thin Lizzy. Renegade in the debut.
Yeah, it should be top 7. At least.
You know,
yeah, if it
Mark's
goes
not
top
here.
7, you would say it should be top 8, top 9.
Mark's not here, John. Do you want me to give you his 5?
No, but I'm gonna put 5 on, but I know there's songs better than some on my list.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a promo copy of Jailbreak that came with the promo kit. Pretty cool.
Oh, really? Those are cool.
Yeah.
When you get those little kits with them, the little bios.
And I got it
photos
for like $7 too, like 10 years ago. Before the album prices went through.
Do you want to bust out the Kiss underwear for this one, there, Vance?
No. Oh, it's packed
Bathing
away,
suit.
but yeah, it's right. It
You're
is a
supposed to say
bathing
it's a bathing suit. You're supposed to say it's a bathing suit.
No, it's a bathing suit.
You're supposed to say it kind of like under, but it's a bathing suit.
I know, all right.
Wow, number 1, Whiskey in the Jar, Simmer at number 2.
A lot of the
Holy
more
crap.
ballady ones.
Yeah. Cowboy song, rocker, born going back. On
See,
the
that
board.
Whiskey in a Jar could have hit number 1 maybe like 6-7 years ago, because I was like so sucked into that, and it wasn't because of Metallica,
Hey,
but I
Mitch.
just for some reason I was like stuck on the Thin Lizzy
I
version
think we're
for
gonna
like
have
months.
to get rid of Whiskey in the Jar because that's not their song.
Yeah, we talked about that
No,
earlier.
it's okay. We're all right with
I know, but
Well,
then I'm gonna have. If we're gonna do covers, then I can't get rid of Rosalie. So if we don't do covers, then it helps me out.
No,
right?
I-
Rosalie's on my list. so
Rosalie
I'm not
came
getting
up
rid of
too,
covers. Rosalie's on my list.
I thought about Rosalie and didn't add it. There was something that knocked it
So
off.
good, but I still
yeah.
have to drop one off my list of 10. It would be Rosalie, only
But-
because it's not their song.
But if you
one
do
of
the
my
live
all-time
version,
favorites.
if you do the live version, you can tie in Cowgirl song, and it makes it not totally a cover. So
Well, I asked about covers, so that's I gotta.
Well, yeah, they have like 3 or 4 traditional songs throughout their career that are all popular.
yeah, then you couldn't do Rose and Dove if you wanted it, because that's a We probably just didn't like you that day, Terry. I mean, I don't know, dude. I think people had You Really Got Me, didn't they?
No one had You Really Got Me, and I feel like Terry's right. I feel like we avoided Van Halen covers on purpose.
Van Halen had some of my least favorite covers of all
Yeah.
time, though, man.
Oh,
Diver
You Really
Down
Got
had
Me is
terrible
fantastic.
covers.
I
No,
love
it is.
Where Have All the Good Times Gone? I knew that before I heard the Kinks version. I love that.
You're No Good.
You're no good. Dancing in the Streets. That's the one I would skip.
Yeah.
Was that Van Halen or was that David Lee Roth? I thought that was David Lee Roth.
No, that was Diver
Diver
Down.
Down.
Diver
Oh,
Down.
was it
Yeah,
Van Halen?
Yeah, I had that on my list actually. It's
You
just one of
did?
those. Yeah, I did. I think I had.
Oh, that's right. David Lee Roth.
It's
did
just a
California
summertime
stuff,
song
didn't
for me, man.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
a happy
okay.
song, you know.
The worst David Lee Roth era Van Halen song is still great.
he? Oh yeah.
Pretty Woman still good.
Yeah, I like their cover of Pretty Woman. I got that single.
And it was like further enough away from the original. Like it was a good cover.
Yeah,
I
Eddie did his own.
Well, and being a kid born in the 70s, I grew up. I knew that was the version that I knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't hear the original Pretty Woman until years later.
Okay, but we had heard it on like oldies, so we knew it vaguely. Like it was.
That is a good idea. Killer. I did a cover. I did a cover theme night, But but top 5 covers would be a tough one to do too.
Oh man,
I could do a top 5 covers of just Black Sabbath songs easily.
Yeah, I mean top 5 covers just all across the board. Yeah.
I think most of my covers, if I had to do, I'd have to start from the I'd have to fit with you guys. I'd have to say 70s on or something, because the best covers are gonna be all from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Like Louie, like a lot of the classics.
Well, you could do the 80s version, the Black Flag version of Louie Louie.
Yeah, no, but I meant just the Kingsman. That's a cover, so like that's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Well, in the 50s is hard because everything got covered by everybody from all genres,
Yeah, I mean,
Train Kept a Rollin' by Johnny Burnett.
People could have the same song at the same time released.
Well, they did not. So what they did was, if it was a popular St. Williams, they would do a rock version and an R&B version.
Yep, and the song would be in the chart, so both artists would get that slot.
Yeah, it was insane.
For Van Halen, that US Festival happened 40 years ago.
What was that, Vance?
That US Festival happened 40 years ago this weekend too.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. There's a Van Halen documentary guy that's doing some cool documentaries. He did one about the US Festival and how Van Halen got the $1 million and all that stuff. So I was like, oh man.
I got the bootleg of that US show with the Van Halen. I think I played that. You've heard that David Lee Roth interview where he's all coked up.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, Aerosmith. Some of their best songs were their blues covers. Their B-sides were so good.
Train Kept a Rollin'. Jeez, right there.
Yeah.
The Johnny Burnett version by far is the best. Train Kept a Rollin', because that took it from being just a traditional like jump blues to crazy rock and roll with fuzz, and they were the ones that came up with that riff.
Yeah. I didn't know Triumph was at Festival.
You should go look at go to Robert Pippen's channel, Mike, and go look at his.
I watched it. It was a long time ago, though.
They were kind of the, some say they were the oddball on Metal Day, but in '83 they were at their peak. But then never
Triumph. I love Triumph. I think they're one of the most underrated bands from that era.
And it really bums me out because all 3 guys are around. I really wish they'd do something.
Well, what's his name?
I haven't seen that documentary.
What's the guy that's playing guitar for Bon Jovi right now?
Hide Your Heart was covered by 3 times. Yes.
Yep.
I don't even know who's playing.
Phil X from Bon Jovi.
Oh, okay.
Was in he did an album or 2 with them too.
Yeah.
So who wrote Hide Your Heart? Was it Holly Knight? Did Holly Knight write Hide Your Heart? Who wrote Hide Your Heart? Who wrote that?
I forgot what that was called. I remember the cover.
I've got it. I can't. It's got like a green cover on it.
Yeah, like the green logo and like a purple kind of wall kind of.
New York Groove is probably Aces is better than the original. That's a great. I've put that in as a great cover song.
So Hide Your Heart was written by Paul Stanley, Desmond Child, and Holly Knight. So those 3 people wrote it. Yeah.
I think my favorite metal cover is Typo Negative doing the song Black Sabbath.
I like
it's just so evil.
Reptile America does a great version of Time by Pink Floyd.
I'd have to throw in Hurt with Johnny Cash. That's.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think
Mark would say Astronomy Domine by Voivod. That's what Mark would say.
I think one of the most almost historical important covers was Diamonds and Rust by Judas Priest, because I can't trace a song, a cover where the band took something and almost did it ironic by choosing the song as almost is part of the art than the actual recording of it. It was like taking a Joan Baez song and turning it heavy metal, and I can't find any covers before that took like an outlandish genre and tried to put it into a different genre.
All right, guys, you got 15 minutes to get your list figured out.
So what about Maybe I'm Gonna Leave You like Joan Baez?
Most people would identify that song and Green Monalishi with
Priest,
them, not with the original bands,
S&M.
But Green Monalishi sounds like it's a heavy rock song, so that was like a no-brainer. But
start with, I actually think that the Peter Green version is a little bit heavier than the Judas Priest version.
Certainly spookier, or like a little weird,
Dude, he was such a great songwriter, man. Just that and Black Magic Woman, or his version for music. Yeah, I didn't know that Diamonds and Rust was a cover probably until the 90s at some time, you know?
Diamonds and Rust.
I mean, even when they play videos of her from Woodstock, it's not Diamonds and Rust singing, you know what I mean? It's usually one of her protest songs. Was this one of the Appice brothers in Cactus?
Yeah.
Carmine. Carmine and Tim Bogert.
Vanilla Fudge.
Yeah.
I think Rusty something was the singer. I think Rusty and he got killed on a drug deal or something like that.
Yeah, then they had a second singer. They were kind of got a messy career if you
They
follow
had
the discography.
the son of Cactus, and then
I would say the Appice brothers in general have a messed up. Both of them.
wow,
Really weird.
the pressure will blow. That's the first time we've seen the pressure.
Talk
will
about
blow,
guys
you
who
know?
can't hold down a job. Yeah.
But not just that, they don't even say their names are the same way. One says
Yeah.
Appice, one says Appice. I mean, they're the most ridiculous guy. One of them got a drum or a punching bag that he plays with his drum kit.
Well, and their sister pronounced it Apici. So there's three
Yeah,
different
I think
pronunciations.
Apici would be the proper Italian way, but obviously when you move to America, all the pronunciations change more, so Americans.
But you don't generally, the same family members pronounce it differently.
No,
especially
never.
Famous guys like that, you know.
I got 10 minutes to go. If you want to change your list, you better get it together, man.
Yeah, I'm not. I love every song on my list, but I'm not sold. Like I say, I'm leaving off better songs. So
You got 10 minutes to change your mind, man.
it's no matter what I do, I could just randomly pick 5 out of the 10. It's still going to be a problem.
Yeah, I know.
What's the Anthrax cover song?
Oh, the
Antisocial.
Time.
Antisocial.
Antisocials. That's better than the original.
I didn't know until maybe 2 or 3 years ago that was a cover, and that's always been one of my favorite Anthrax songs. I had no
I
clue.
listened to that today on my bike ride.
Yeah, we knew it when it came out, and that's what made us buy the Trust album.
What is that?
Carmine.
Oh, there you go. Who's
Man,
that
that's
behind
like
Carmine?
old.
That's the current singer of Cactus.
Oh.
Got his name. He was actually pretty good though.
Do you remember the Anvil movie when Lips runs into Carmine because like they grew up with Cactus and Vanilla Fudge and like you could tell he's getting aggravated.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
I think that's what he said. How he met Rob. He's like walking by the house and like, who's
Yeah, he
playing
heard
Cactus.
Cactus is cranking through the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, Metallica, man, Metallica's got some of the best cover. The cover of Bread Fan and the cover of Am I Evil? Those are amazing covers, too.
Oh, yeah. Blitzkrieg. Yeah, it was so good.
I mean, it's fuzzy, but I think Am I Evil and then Lightning, that was the era that I got in, you know.
Dude, Am I Evil is one of my favorite Metallica songs that's not written by Metallica.
Yeah. Am I Evil? I think, I can't remember exactly, but I think I got that Creeping Death EP just because
I do my best.
was on it. And that's,
And you could play it at 33 speed and get the Doom version of Creeping Death.
So it was either that or Lightning. Well, I can't remember which one I actually got first.
You joke about that, John. There was a local Doom band that I bought one of their albums at the show. Or I bought the album a couple years before the show, and I saw them at the show and found out that I had been playing the album at the wrong speed for years because there's no vocals in it. It's all instrumental Doom. And I had been playing it at 33, and I saw them live, and I was like, why did this song sound so different? And I came back home and realized I had always played it at the wrong speed.
Yep, there's a couple of records you can't tell, and they're like 7 inches. They don't tell you.
Yeah, it didn't say on there at all. I went online to find out it was supposed to be.
Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they'll say 45, it'll be 33, and vice versa.
Yes,
you don't know what side it is. You're like,
the worst is Guar, because Guar's got that one album where the first 3 sides are 33, and then the 4th side is 45.
It's like
I hate when you
assholes.
I hate when you. You shouldn't play any Thin Lizzy till we make.
I've already played one song, so okay. I assumed this was not going to be on anybody's list.
Yeah, this isn't gonna.
Yeah, Turn the Page is another good cover, but the Bob Seger version I actually like better than Metallica's.
Actually, I don't like that. I don't like the Metallica.
You know, it really sucks for me because I've done it a few times where I've like recorded an album, like an album like got 4 sides and 3 sides are 33 and one's 45, and I don't know, I don't listen while I'm recording. You know, then when I'm processing it, I get through the 3 albums, the three album sides, then I get to the 4th, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I got to go back and hopefully I haven't shipped the record back to somebody, and I got to go like record it again because it's like, you know, you didn't tell me it was 45, you assholes. Yeah. I thought they did a good job to turn the page. That's another burnout song, you know, that's like way overplayed. Not the Metallica version.
The original.
The Bob Seger version's overplayed. So yeah.
I don't know if it was. I would call that a clever cover. I don't know. Like they had really choice cuts, and then doing Bob Seger. I don't know. Maybe for them.
Not just that. There's some way better. There's some way better like Bob Seger system stuff that they could have done over that one.
Yeah, it just reminds me of like 70, like just FM rock radio, and that's just me personally. I don't want to.
What's messed up, Bill?
Bill's kind of lagged, so he might be commenting on something you said 10 minutes ago.
Having the album with the wrong speed, maybe?
You have to make them in a particular order. You have to make them in an order. It doesn't count. Do it like we all have to make it in an order.
Yeah, Motley Crue had some great covers. Like a Virgin was not one of them.
Right, but Lords of the New Church, Like a Virgin, was pretty fun.
What was the MC5 song that Motley Crue did? Oh, I can't remember. It was really good.
So you got Wild One, Southbound, Still in Love with You, Fool's Gold, and Romeo and the Lonely Girl.
Yeah, I love Wild One.
Yeah, I couldn't do an honorable mention, Terry. I'd have like 30 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Depeche, Metallica, I mean, they introduced us to a lot of bands. Most people had never heard of Budgie until Metallica. Yeah. Anti-Nowhere League until Metallica.
That's right.
The Misfits. Misfits.
Oh, they really, they were really huge proponents of Misfits and Danzig and Sam Hain from day one. They wore the shirts, they did the songs.
Cliff Burton wore that shirt. It was turned on probably 10,000 people, you know.
Well, he turned James on to it. James got real heavy into it. He started wearing the Danzig shirts after that.
Almost time, people. We're getting close.
Anybody pick anything up recently?
I got a bunch of prog yesterday.
Did
I got some random singles came in.
I got like a punk rock Halloween comp too, called Loud, Fast, and Scary. It came out on a record store day, I think.
Yeah.
I saw these the other night, but I got the New Metal Church Man.
Okay, yeah.
And then which is
that Stranglers Walk On By, the Burt Bacharach is great.
This is Richie Faulkner's band.
Oh, okay.
How is that, Richie Faulkner?
Oh, Richie
Faulkner from Judas Priest.
Yep.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Elegant Weapons?
Yeah, it just came out on Thursday or Friday.
John, I saw that poster. You went to a friend's house or something like that?
Yeah, a buddy had a barbecue. Yeah, it was fun.
Dude, man, I mean, how many singles does he have there? Jeez.
It's not only how many, it's how expensive. Like, those are
God.
all... I pull out, like, let me pull blues. It's That's All Right Mama by Arthur Big Boy Crudup, the one Elvis covered on the original red vinyl when, like,
when they,
they used to do the colors, like
colors,
red would be blues, green was country, yellow was kids, and like man, that's a $300 record. You know,
insane collection.
The one I was holding was like Eddie Cochran's first single. That's that in mint condition. It must have been $500 record. You know?
That's awesome, man. Well, just the fact that go see. You have a friend like that.
Yeah,
you can go see that.
I mean, it's not about the money. It's just the
no but
rarities.
just, you can go. You can actually go and see the the thing, and at least
Does he need any of them cleaned?
Yeah, so they it's like, oh, bring records. Like, we're gonna have DJs spinning because they had a setup. We were basically outside. I just went inside for a minute, but I had the records. I said I'm gonna leave them in the car. It's like they're playing like hot stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna bring my records out.
Yeah, I figured as much when I saw that picture. I said, oh, that's probably all this incredibly rare stuff, man.
John, speaking of the Elvis and stuff, I was just listening to Willie Nelson live at the Budokan, and I didn't realize that Grady Martin from Elvis and Buddy Holly and was in Willie Nelson's band too.
Yeah, he never played with Elvis or Buddy Holly, Brady Martin.
No, he
studio guy.
Studio, yeah, no, he did studio stuff with them though. And I think he was one of the.
Did he ever play with Elvis? I don't know if he ever played with Elvis. Brady
I thought
Martin.
I read that
it's possible he played with everybody.
I know he recorded with Buddy Holly though.
No, it's kind of Thin Lizzy. It's what's left of Thin Lizzy.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I read a write-up about him a couple months ago, unrelated to that. It was about the National A-Team, and he was one of the big guys that they spotlighted.
Yeah, he's on. I mean, he must be on 50 great rockabilly singles. Like,
it's
the
insane.
label. He started
in like 48 or 49 and recorded well into the 80s. I mean, it's
Johnny Burnett. Yeah, he's on so much stuff.
That's not a good trade. Is Counterparts going for 300? I got a copy of Counterparts. Yeah, if you want to get the closest thing to Thin Lizzy nowadays, it's probably this band, Black Star Riders. It's as close as you can get.
Well, yeah, it's because it's got one of the Thin Lizzy's in, one of the guys with Thin Lizzy in it.
It had two of them for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's why they had to stop doing this till Thin Lizzy.
It had half Thin Lizzy, really. Yeah.
They did.
Well, that's why they switched the name, because people were complaining that it's not Thin Lizzy, so they changed the Black Star Riders. But now Scott Gorham quit the band. He left the band, and he's pouring his Thin Lizzy again.
Well, they had John Sykes, they had Gorham.
Brian Downey was on drums.
Was he in Black Star Riders? Brian Downey?
Yeah, when I saw him, he was. This was a few years back. It was Brian Downey and Scott Gorham.
I saw them with John Sykes, Scott Gorham. I don't know who was playing. They opened for Deep Purple. Probably 2009? I have the picture. Yeah, it's just like Ricky Wharton on vocals. I think that's his name. Ricky Wharton, is that his name?
Yeah, I couldn't get behind him. And he was playing guitar, like rhythm, and he had like a hollow body and like kind of this rock dude look. I couldn't get behind him. This sounds a lot better than I remember him.
Yeah, John, it's
I have an original.
Is it Rock Around with Ollie V?
Oh, he was on that?
Yeah, he played the guitar on it.
Oh, that's great guitar.
Okay.
I always thought that was like Sonny Curtis. Okay, cool.
All right, people. So we're going to start with you, Steve.
Oh, me?
Let me share the list here. So
Top five.
play along at home.
Thin Lizzy song.
I'm putting them in order as I say this, just so you know. So my number 5 is going to be Suicide from Fighting.
Good song.
Number 4 is going to be Cowboy Song from Jailbreak.
Yep.
Number 3 is going to be Killer Without a Cause from Bad Reputation. Number 2 is going to be Massacre from Johnny the Fox.
Oof, nice. Yeah, that's such a good one.
And number 1 is going to be Emerald from Jailbreak.
Okay, so hang on a second. So
Also.
What the hell? All right.
Now I forgot what order I put them in.
Yeah. So start again.
I think it was Suicide from Fighting.
Yeah. You had Suicide.
Then it was Cowboy Song from Jailbreak.
Yeah.
So this is the studio version for Cowboy Song?
Yeah, I just did studio versions. I thought about doing live, but I didn't.
Okay, and number 3?
Number 3 was Killer Without a Cause.
And number 2 was that Emerald.
No, number 2 is Massacre from Johnny the Fox.
Yeah, that's
Number
a
1?
killer.
And number 1's Emerald.
Emerald. Okay.
So I did
Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this when I'm typing? I can't see the chat or anything. Can y'all see this? Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So Mark is not here, so he'll get no credit for tonight. So there we go. Let's go with Vance.
Blacks it out. All right. I mean, it was tough, Number 5. I mean, I was switching this left and right, but I settled on Ballad of a Hard Man. Number 4, The Rocker, because I'm a roller too, baby.
Nice.
Number 3, and the next are, I mean, they're so generic, but I love these songs. I sing them all the time. So number 3 is Jailbreak. Number 2, Fighting My Way Back. And I just had to put it as Boys Back in Town. I mean,
What's
to this day,
Finding My Way Back?
Finding My Way Back, yeah. Or Fighting My Way
Back.
Yeah, Boys Back in Town. I mean, I sing it every time. I turn it up. I never get sick of that freaking song. As many times as you hear it.
All right. Just as a sidebar, if Jeff Ingram says Brian Downey wasn't on drums, then I'm just mistaken. I never saw Sykes in the band, but I definitely saw a Scott Gorham. But I thought it was Brian Downey on drums. But
and Scott Gorham was in the band until just like this last year, I think, is when he quit.
Yeah, I remember he quit. But if Jeff says it wasn't Downey, it's just my memory. I have no facts or anything. Just
I don't think there were Black Star Riders when I saw them. They were still being called Thin Lizzy.
Well, for a while,
it might have been Thin Lizzy. You know what? When I saw them, I think they were still Thin Lizzy.
When the first
with Thin Lizzy, they opened for Priest.
When the first Black Star Riders came out, they were still doing both, and then they basically made the switch to just Black Star Riders after that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Hey, Patrick, my number 4 is The Rocker. Is the song?
Oh, sorry.
You
said roller. You were talking. And
I did the line of the song. But yeah.
All right, John.
Okay, let's see. All right, now I'm going to talk about this because I'm leaving off Jailbreak only because I heard it so many times. But what a great song! And I'm leaving off Rosalie because it's a cover, even though it doesn't matter because I absolutely love that song. Yeah. I'm going to have to leave off Waiting for an Alibi. Like these are just killers. I'm leaving. I'm going to leave off Southbound, and I still 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got my 5 then. All right, number 5. I will do Killer on the Loose. It's just a great heavy metal song. It's great. Off Chinatown. Number 1. Now I'm screwed up. 1, 2. All right, and then let's do Toughest Street in Town off Black Rose, another killer heavy metal song. And then we're going to do... oh, geez.
Is that the name of the song, actually?
Toughest Street in Town. The really Toughest Street's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Toughest. Oh, yeah. This is the toughest. Okay.
And then see what oh man. All right, I'm gonna do Emerald next, even though that could be number 1.
You're not putting your kids on the line here, John. It's just a list. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. And then Suicide, which I think is the absolute best Thin Lizzy song.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put Sit the Moawea because that's my favorite of all Thin Lizzy songs. And I'm not going to be able to spell it.
I thought you weren't a Moawea. I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah.
I think you got it. Oh, I think it might be an O instead of an A in the middle, but that's fine. That's
okay. I know what song it is. I thought you said you weren't going to put that song.
Well, because I realized none of these are the best, so I might as well just go with my favorites.
Okay, so
that makes sense.
That's what
My number 5 is Warriors because out of all the songs on Jailbreak, that is one that I keep going back to that seems to have held up the best for me over time is that song. Number 5 is Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed. That's just one of those songs that I never ever get tired of, even though I don't not a big fan of Rocky anymore or Johnny, but Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed, the whole story and just the vocal line is just perfect. It's Jimmy. I'm not going to talk the whole thing. Everyone knows what that is. Number 3 is Rosalie, Cowgirl Song, because the live version is so good. So good. But it feels best vocals. And number 2 is Sweetheart off of.
I had a feeling we would have a lot of trouble with duplicates on this one because there's so many good songs.
And Sweetheart to me, Chinatown, one of the most underrated Thin Lizzy albums of all time, and Sweetheart is one of my favorite songs by them as well. And number one, no question about it, is Bad Reputation, my favorite Thin Lizzy album. And this song just hits you in the mouth and keeps hitting you in the mouth the entire time. So,
I had nothing off that record, believe it or not, and it's such a great record.
now comes the tough part. How many songs are actually? So we have 2 Emeralds, we have 2 Suicides, and
That's
is that
much,
it?
That's it.
All right, so we have Suicide. And remember, once even though we have 2 Suicides, remember the new rule is that they don't have to be higher than other songs.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll
So
debate
we
the
have
5 when
Suicide.
we get to 5.
We have Suicide, Emerald. All right, so now comes the tough part. So
All right, we could cross out.
We got our number ones. Do we?
Well, cross out Sitamoawea because that was just my favorite, and nobody's. You know, what I mean. We could rule that one out if we're doing it from the bottom up. You know what I mean?
well, we're not doing it. We just need to
Okay.
get 5 we need to get 5 to rank. So
Yeah.
What do you guys? I mean, I think the Rocker's just a great overall song. I figured that most of you guys would like that song too.
Yeah, I like every song on this list.
Yeah, I can go
I
with
can't
the
remember
Rocker,
Ballad of a Hard
Warriors,
Man.
Bad Reputation. I love all of them. Rosalie.
Rosalie's good.
I mean, if it was me, I'd go because we have Emerald, we have Suicide. I mean, the songs, I mean,
Let me say something. On my top 10, I did have Jailbreak, and I cut it out. So I was
looking at my cutouts too, John. Yeah,
but you also
I would
had
have
Rosalie. You also had Rosalie as a cutout.
Yes.
too, so.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll go to that next.
I did have Rosalie as a cutout as well.
I would probably take Rosalie over Jailbreak, especially
Okay,
the
I
live
could do that.
version.
Yeah, I would do that.
I mean, I love Jailbreak. Don't get me wrong, but
I also cut out Wild One. Did somebody put Wild One? Oh, that was
No
a
one
chat.
put Wild One. No.
That was a chat. Yeah.
Boys Are Back in Town. I mean, I'm okay with that because it is pretty much the signature song that everyone knows that. Even
we're doing best songs. I don't know. I might argue with that.
well,
yeah.
Vance is upset now because that was his number 1.
No, I'm not upset. I mean,
You
I
know,
know
actually,
I know it was generic. It's just
If it makes the list, that's fine. But
Yeah.
because it's their signature song, I don't think that's a reason.
Here's my
Yeah,
thing.
no,
about
that's
that
why I
song.
brought up the Rocker because I just.
Well, Boys Are Back in Town would be my number 5 on that album. That would be my 5th choice on that album because that album's got Emerald and Cowboy Song and Jailbreak and you know what I mean.
I mean, I'd agree with Jailbreak going.
So I can't see the chat right now. What is the chat saying? What are the people? What are our people saying? So what do you guys think?
Quicksand says that even though Jailbreak is overplayed, it has to be in the top 5.
Yeah, Jeff makes a good point. Cowboy Song and Cowgirl Song are technically the same song, so it's
Mike's
on.
got the
twice.
spins.
Yeah, I would say Jailbreak makes the list next.
All right, so we're
And
going
then
to
Rosalie. Or you got Rosalie already on there, but I would say
Rosalie's on here.
Jailbreak and Rosalie. But you guys could argue against me, but just
We need one more song to make the top 5.
okay. This will be interesting. So let's can you cross out song? Let's see. So
I
on
can.
my list,
Reputation, I love that
on
song.
my list, if I had to nominate one, would be Toughest Street in Town that didn't make the list.
All right, there's
And then and I'm not saying to put it on. I'm looking at each. And Steve's, what song would we do on Steve's Steve, what would you like that didn't make the list off yours?
I would off of not even off of mine. I think
No, do your list. We'll do each list. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's already there. The other one would be Cowboy Song, but Rosalie and Cowgirl Song is Cowboy Song. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
But the
Okay,
one
then on-
was right. I really like Bad Reputation. I think that could be on the list too.
Yep. So Vance's is definitely Boys would be the one off his list that didn't make it.
Fighting my way back to the Rocker. I mean,
for me, it's obvious. I mean, it's going to be Bad Reputation. I mean, to me, that's far and away my favorite song by them, and it's not even close.
I love that song too. I can go with Bad Reputation.
yeah, I don't have a problem.
So it's between Bad Reputation, Boys
Are Back in Town, and
that's about it. Because Toughest Street isn't going to beat either of those, and Massacre, as much as I love it, probably won't. I mean, maybe we could argue it, but probably won't beat those two. I do too.
Song.
See, this is a much harder debate that we had with Van Halen. This is a much harder debate.
I would actually take Bad Reputation. I mean, Boys is fine or not, but something could actually a better song could replace Suicide maybe.
No,
Oh,
but we
I
had,
know,
two,
but what? Like,
we
I
had
don't
two,
know.
two people had suicide in there. It has,
Oh, is that
I
why
would
they
make a
got in there?
stand on Suicide's
why-
really my
Yeah.
number one. I just
suicide
put
had
my-
to make it because
No,
two
and I love
people.
this song.
Yeah, I
If-
love Suicide. I'd
I
fight that.
got you.
You know, if multiple people choose a song, it automatically gets to get on the list. We can't remove it. That's kind of it's fail safe. You know, it's like
So
okay,
it's
I got you,
between.
I got
I think it's between Bad Reputation and Boys Are Back in Town. So I guess it'll come down to a vote.
well, I won't vote because my reputations are you know where my
No.
vote sits. So
My-
you
Yeah,
guys
but,
can
okay.
vote.
So you're Bad Reputation. I'll
you got-
go
you
Bad
I'm
Reputation.
Bad Reputation too.
Yeah, well, I'll go with it too. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so-
even if you want to
Yeah,
vote
even-
for
Alright.
Boys, it's nothing to be ashamed of. But
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be ashamed. I would actually fight for Fighting or Rocker on that battle. But Bad
Okay.
Reputation is a great song too. So
I
it's,
see.
All right,
really-
so now we have to rank them from
my
one
number
to
one is kind of like yours.
Vance,
John. It
the
was-
only reason I was saying Boys for you because it was your number one. That's
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was kind of like the same way with yours. It's just
Yeah.
You know, I would
A
be okay
nostalgic
with
favorite
Emerald.
song,
I'd be
and
okay
I
with
just-
Emerald at number one. I mean, I would be fine with Emerald at number one.
I mean, that's my number one. So
That's kind of what I figured would be number one.
yeah.
you know,
It's such a Thin Lizzy song, and yeah,
I don't think anybody's going to choose anything to beat it. So
and I would argue Suicide. I think that's the perfect song.
I love
There's so
Suicide.
much about it.
I'm okay if two people voted for that.
It's
too,
kind
so
of
I
got
mean,
their lyrics where it tells a story. He's kind of rugged. It's got the twin guitars, but it's got
Guitar's
this like,
amazing. on
laid
it,
back boogie kind of thing, but it's driving the whole way. And he
So I
tells a
I
story
would
like
go, I would go Rosalie, Bad Reputation, Jailbreak to finish. So that would be my 3, 4, 5. So
okay, I love Rosalie. The only reason I discount it was because it was a cover. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would do
So-
Rosalie. I mean, Cowboy Song was on my list, so Rosalie.
so
Yeah.
between
I'm
Bad
not going
Reputation
to argue a live version either. So
plus that was my number one, so I put that at 4, and then
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak at 5.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
I'm very happy with
So
that. Like,
Emeralds, yeah.
All right, so here we have the top final list. People is Emerald, Suicide, Rosalie, Cowgirl Song, Bad Reputation, and Jailbreak. So live with it. That's what we're doing.
These
And-
will all change in about 2 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure. I should.
no, I don't think Suicide or Emerald. Actually, I like all of them.
They'd
I don't
still
think my
make a
list.
top-
Those would
Yeah, they
always
could-
make my top
They
5.
could make a top 5 on a regular basis.
Okay, so our top 3 was Emerald, Suicide, and Rosalie. So now I'll make a poll, and y'all can vote, and then
Which
y'all
one
can
is
vote
number
to
one?
find out which one's number one, or if we did a totally shitty job and you think something else is there. Okay, so let's get back to the music, and then I'll make the poll.
Do you
and
want
y'all
to
can
play?
start
You want to
voting.
play the top 3, or
I might do that in a little bit. We'll see.
Okay. because then you could take the audience
Yeah.
vote. Although they all know it, but you know,
Yeah.
most people anyway.
I still haven't listened to this one yet. I did get this one in.
I haven't gotten that one yet. I haven't got that one yet either.
I haven't
Okay,
listened-
so let me make the poll. So we had Emerald, Suicide, Rosalie, Cowgirl Song. Okay. These throwdowns are kind of fun. I like these. So it's like a.
Well, the cool thing about this one, I mean, when we did the Van Halen, there was a lot of crossover. I had a
Yeah.
feeling there wouldn't be a lot of crossover with this one.
Which is great.
Yeah. I think another one that would be cool is Iron Maiden, but there'd be a lot.
Oh, jeez.
We have
Oh, yeah.
totally different ideas, you know what I mean?
I think, I don't know. We all might have came in around the same era, but yeah.
No, came in the same era, but, I came in about 86. And what my favorite album has changed since then. I hated the Paul Di'Anno stuff all through the 80s and 90s. I didn't like it. And now those Di'Anno albums are my two favorite Maiden albums,
Yeah, like I don't think I could live if like Running Free wasn't number one.
Oh, yeah,
Prowler, like
Okay, there's the poll, people. Vote ahead. Which song do you think is number one? Oh, hold on a second. I gotta keep. Well, that should be a number one, not an exclamation mark. But anyway. So remember, you have an option to say that we don't know what the hell we're talking about. So there you go.
And actually, Iron Maiden's funny because one of my favorite songs is The Klansman, which is a Blaze Bailey song.
yeah,
The one I love is the version sung by, the live version sung by
Bruce, yeah,
Bruce. It's amazing.
and he's been doing that for years. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like his song now.
Oh, yeah. But that's the only
I like-
standout song from the Blaze Bailey era was the Plan.
You know, that's another reason I like Iron Maiden, because usually you don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, like if Ozzy came back, would never sing a Dio Sabbath song.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they're so classy that way, in like how they kept Janet Gers. You know, when Adrian Smith came back, and just their roadies stayed the same.
Well, and Black Sabbath was funny like that because, like, Dio would sing Ozzy songs, but when he came back later, he wouldn't have done any of the Gillan songs or any of the, you know what I mean? So,
And then he didn't do any Ozzy songs after, but maybe it was a Sharon Osbourne
And then-
thing. But Heaven and Hell never did an
the
Ozzy.
Heaven and Hell, yeah, the Heaven and Hell tour.
oh, he didn't do
Yeah.
any Ozzy songs? during that tour?
No.
I didn't think so.
Maybe the Dehumanizer. I can't remember if he did any Ozzy.
Yeah, because that's why they had to call themselves Heaven and Hell, because
Yeah.
freaking Sharon Osbourne and all
Yeah.
that. So I wouldn't think they'd go back and do the old Ozzy song. I regret.
Yeah, Mike,
that.
the Live and Dangerous is one of the best live albums.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For double live, that'd be in my top 5 for sure of all time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's one of those where the live versions are better than the studio version for the most part. Same with UFO. Same
Which
with
says a
Kiss
lot,
Alive,
too, because the studio
you know.
versions were amazing. Yeah, UFO.
I like Tony Martin.
I love the Tony Martin albums, too. The only one I don't like is the one, what's the one with that Ernie C. produced?
Oh God, yeah.
Is it Cross Purposes?
No, Cross Purposes is good.
No, what's the one that...
Forbidden? Is it Forbidden?
Yeah, that's the one. There's some good songs on there, but yeah, you can tell. And I don't know why they chose Ernie C. to produce it, because it's not like they were a huge band at that point. You know what I mean? I mean, they had the one album that did good, a Body Count, but not enough to have them produce a Black Sabbath album.
With their shields and their swords, fight the fight they believe to be right. Overthrow the overlord. To the towns where there was plenty, they brought plunder, swords, and flame. When they left, the town was empty, and children would never play again.
Oh God, I won't be here next weekend. So next Sunday I won't be here. I'll be in Louisville. So I'll be back on Monday.
Cool. This is so Thin Lizzy, like no other band.
Yeah, but a top 5 UFO is going to be another tough one, man. That's like fucking. That's like torture for me. Wow, people are overwhelmingly voting for Emerald, and also we don't have a clue. So yeah,
Oh, is there a poll up?
yeah,
Yeah, we don't see it on StreamYard.
yeah. I don't see it on StreamYard, but yeah.
Yeah, John, I have the YouTube open too.
Okay, turn the volume down, sorry.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to be
We
here
have no
next week.
clues. A
so-
close second.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm not going to vote.
it's okay if we have no clue. I need another beer.
I'm okay with that. 25% not having a clue.
Yeah.
I would probably agree that 25% of the time I don't know what I'm talking about.
Any of you guys ever see Lynette?
No.
You know, I know. Because when was the last time he toured the U.S.?
I don't know. When did he die? In '86? When did he die?
So 83 maybe then?
I don't know. He was doing solo stuff near the
Yeah,
end, but I didn't know that. You know, I was a kid. I just knew the name
what's
Thin
sad is
Lizzy.
of all the Thin Lizzy guitarists, Brian Robertson never gets any love when people are talking about him. And he absolutely shreds on this album.
He's my favorite. He's that little wah in like Jailbreak, you know.
He kills it on this album.
I love him because if you hear it on Wild Horses and then the Motorhead, Another Perfect Day, and you listen to those records, you start recognizing his song, and then you can figure out who's who on the Thin Lizzy. Like I could never tell.
I need to get that album.
Yeah, it's not a great record, but it gets better each time I listen to it. But you can hear his guitar by itself, and you say, "Oh yeah, now I get the mix."
And what's crazy is he was in the band for like 5 or 6 albums, and he's still. Everybody brings up the Sykes, and they bring up Gorham, and they bring nobody ever talks about him. Oh, there you go, right there.
Mama, take a look at your boy, he's a military man.
Did you rip that one yet?
I don't know. Let me go look.
I feel like you didn't have it ripped, and I can't remember there's a good song, maybe the second track. I can't remember.
I haven't listened to this one, but I just got this one in recently.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's live in '84. It's Polo. In his Polo stuff.
Is that a bootleg?
Yeah.
I don't have it recorded, but I'll put it
What's
through the
it on?
system later.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to blow your mind, but it's
I've
good.
heard it.
And on repeated
It's on
listens,
Parachute
it's
Records.
kind of good.
Parachute? Yeah. They do good stuff, Parachute.
Isn't there like a
UK
couple
tour.
of,
It's the UK tour in '84.
Okay, cool.
it's kind of like a super group, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Jimmy Bain from who later went on to Dio. He's like the Phil Lynott, the singing bass player.
Neil
I think
Carter.
Phil Lynott. Who's the other one?
Neil Carter, Brian Robertson.
Yeah, Neil Carter. That's right.
Yeah,
And I
from
believe
UFO.
Phil Lynott co-wrote or recorded with it too, like helped him out.
Clive Edwards is on drums.
Tokyo 1980. This is Parachute also. And I just got this one. I guess this was an RSD UK last year. But it's a remastered version that Scott Gorham did as the second album. The first album's the original mix, and the second album's the Gorham mix.
Oh wow, man! Clive Edwards played in the original Electric Sun with Ole John Roth, so he was the drummer in Wild Horses.
Yeah, his name's popped up in other things, right?
So you got UFO, you got frickin' Thin Lizzy, and you've got Electric Sun. Like that is kind of a super group, you know. So
Yeah, Terry, that was the Feelies, wasn't it, John? The Christmas with Phil and the Sex Pistols.
No, that's
Or the Grillies. The
Greedies.
Greedies, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. I've got a couple copies of that single. Yeah, you can get that single for pretty cheap. You can get that for $5 or $6.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's just something cool.
Gary Moore rips on this solo, man. So good.
I've got this 12-inch for this.
Yeah, this one. I think this came off a 12-inch.
Yeah, it's funny. Even after they stopped playing together, they were still appearing on each other's singles and stuff.
Yeah, this is a UK 12-inch single. This is what
Yeah.
this came off of. But Out of the Fields is the A side on this.
Could you play Cold Sweat later?
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah's listening, but if not, it's a great tune.
I thought about putting that one on my list too.
I've never seen the second album.
Yeah, I don't have the second one. I'm sure it's more of the same. It's probably, it can't be bad, but it's probably not great.
it's kind of cookie cutter. You know, the first album's kind of, you know, what you expect. You know,
Yeah, it's kind of like a weak version of Thin Lizzy. Like the songwriting's trying to be like Thin Lizzy. Sometimes it comes off like Joe Jackson-y a little bit, if that makes sense.
kind of pub rock.
No, just the way, you know how Joe Jackson has that like kind of talking and
Yeah.
not pub rock, almost because it's like thin guitar. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
Hey, Darren.
hey, Darren.
The problem with Gary Moore is like his solo album, and the production was so shitty, so bad.
Another great song that Sarah mentioned that didn't make anyone's list was "Little Darling." That's a good one.
That's well, we talked about that. That's a great B-side. You know, I played that on Friday. I think I played that Friday.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
That's why I didn't put it on this playlist.
that's
so
on the live
Friday.
record, right? That's on the live record, isn't it?
I think so.
I love you too.
I would have played Little Darling tonight, but I played it Friday, so I said, I already played that weekend.
That's right. Yeah, Swift-O-Matic. Patrick played some of that last week.
I actually played some Funky Junction last week.
Yeah, we went over this. Yeah,
I think I played a Black Knight. Did I play Black Knight? I played the original. I think I played an original. This song has such a good groove to it, though, you know.
nice Cleveland.
And you know what? The reissues they did of these done by I think Greg at Final Tweak. These sound really. The reissues sound really good. That came out. I think they came out in 2014.
This groove, it doesn't sound like it, but it gives me the feeling that Fairies Wear Boots gives me. It's like that. It just like, keeps moving.
Yeah, it's just got a killer feel to it.
It's laid back and driving.
Oh, the rhythm section, man. It's just...
And again, this is Brian Robertson, who, you know.
Yeah, Darren, whenever you have something that's cut so low, yeah, you have to raise the volume, and the noise board just raises. Brian
Kind of
Downey
riff.
was a great drummer.
This is the exact riff that Iron Maiden would make famous like 5 years later.
Judas Priest had some galloping riffs like this too.
Totally Iron Maiden there. That right there was completely Iron Maiden.
Well, Iron Maiden 6 years earlier.
Killers. This is like Killers. Like, you know, this is like, oh, we're going to do Killers. This is exactly how we're going to do it. This is our blueprint for Killers.
Yeah, this is just cool, you know?
Yeah, Brian Downey's amazing. Yeah. So, has anyone checked the poll lately?
I haven't. Let me go. Check it out.
Well, Rosalie's now in second place, and we have no clue. We're in third place. So,
Emerald
Suicide.
Pack.
Yep.
I don't think people just know this song for it to be only 12%. It's such a great song.
Yeah.
But I think people do know that we have no clue. So obviously they know what they're talking about. So, yeah.
This would be Brian Robinson.
Did he do most of the wah work? Is that his thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's got this almost like funky. It's hard to like. He's holding back on the notes, like.
I think he's one of the best on the wah though. When he's soloing with the dude, it's so good.
Oh yeah, Darren, you definitely need more Thin Lizzy, dude.
Yeah, at least get the live album.
Yeah.
Live and Dangerous.
Like I said, the reissues that came out a few years ago, they're all very, very good. Very good.
Well, even is it Life Live or Live Life? Even
Yeah.
I like that live album too.
Are those all reissues, fans?
This one, I think. This is the 2014? Yeah,
I think it's 2014 or 16. Yeah, those are all good. Those are all very good. And you know, I'm not a big reissue guy. But, yeah.
I still can't come. Yeah, it's Vertigo. I still can't find the U.S. copy of this, so I won't. I decided to get that.
I have a U.S. copy. I never could find the U.K.
Hey, Sacto, what's going on?
Yeah, that's why I got this. I said, "Oh, cool! I'll get the UK cover and the reissue." And I think Patrick, he brought it up about these, so I thought, okay. Well, Patrick said they're pretty good.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big reissue guy, but these sound good. I mean, they do sound good. They're not squashed.
See, this would be probably my top album. I mean, we're talking Rosalie's on here. I mean, Here's Looks Away. I love this album.
Yeah, this is a good record.
I picked up the Jailbreak because they had the die cut. My original Jailbreak was like a early '80s cut. So.
I think I have an extra German Jailbreak that has the die cut cover on Vertigo. Sounds really good. Yeah.
The rest are originals.
I've actually got
that is a great song, man.
I've got Patrick's favorite version.
Oh, there we go. Yes,
it's still different than the. Looking at mine, like all of them have the different logo.
Yeah, they're all slightly different. I have that one too, John.
Yeah, this is a reissue.
Yeah, I don't like the Bad Reputation cover. I don't like the trio. I don't know why they're on there like that.
And then they got all four on the back though.
It looks like an EP. I don't like it.
I have a very scary Canadian original copy, but that's why I picked it.
I've never found a really clean cover on Bad Reputation. They've always got the crazy, not like that, but because it's a black, it's always got the really bad ring wear on it.
This food ain't bad. This Chicago Blue Lake, it ain't bad.
What year is it? The performance.
76. The Riviera WXRT broadcast. It's so easy.
I'm surprised they haven't toured. They were Catherine Beyond was touring quite a bit up until the pandemic, and they've been quiet since.
Who was singing?
Bobby Caldwell. He was singing and playing drums.
He can't sing.
He was in 2019.
He was never. He didn't even do background vocals.
There's a list to do. Top 5 rockers we would bring back if we could.
Great drummer.
He'd definitely be one of mine on my list.
I think he had a lot of shit that he could have done.
Yeah, I mean,
same thing with like Ray Gillen.
Well, he didn't really fall. I mean, Bill never fell off. I mean, even when he was blasted out of his mind, he was still writing great songs.
Tommy Bolin.
One of those bands.
Tommy Bolin could have been a Jeff Beck of the next wave Jeff Beck. Oh my God! Fixing 8 tracks? Why? Why? It looks just like a quad mix or something. Why?
So Billy from Riverbend Records is showing he's been redoing his record room in his house, and he took a bunch of like Metallica, made 8 tracks. He's done a bunch of modern albums that he put on 8 tracks
Why?
for the fun of it.
So you could like sit there and like hear a ka-chunk in the middle of Master
Yeah,
of
like
Puppets?
clunk clunk
Master of Puppets.
halfway through a song.
Better than watching TV or playing on your phone, you know.
I mean, I get trying to create something. I mean, I do that all the time. I'm constantly recording stuff, you know, but I'm not putting it on 8-track, for God's sake.
There's
you
a
know?
couple of, I think Savage Master. There's a couple of new wave of traditional metal bands that have released 8-tracks recently.
That doesn't mix
Just
in my
because
mind.
just because it's old does not mean it's good, you know.
If it was like a stoner rock band, I could see it. Like heavy metal and 8 tracks, I don't like it.
Well, what's the Dark Side of the Moon? Have you ever heard that 8-track, Patrick?
Well, with the extended, no, that's Animals. So sorry, yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure I've heard the 8-track years ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
That was the one that I remember was selling for a couple $100 because everybody said it sounds so amazing.
Well, I mean, everyone wants the Animals one because it's got the Snowy White extended solo. You know, that's the one everybody wants. But yeah, no 8-tracks for me. I see them at garage sales all the time, and I'm like, no, I can't do it, man. I cannot do
I
it.
pick them up for friends if I see some. I don't care about 8-track, but I've seen some Black Sabbath. I picked up the Billy and Ted Nugent and Scott Waters because I know they collect it.
Yeah. No shit, man. Like I said, I told the story before, man. I still remember to this day Ted Nugent's first album, Queen of the Forest. I think it's like track 3 to 4. She's the queen of the forest. They fade it out. Kerplunk. She's the queen of the forest. They fade it back up, and it's like it's ingrained in my mind. Oh, it's like, oh my god. It's like, fuck.
I remember that was the first thing my dad did when he bought his local pill because it had an 8-track in it. Before he even drove it, he pulled the 8-track out, paid for a tape deck, put in there to get rid of the fucking.
That's why, like on that '70s show, they had an episode where it's like Eric's birthday, and he's like, "Oh, I want a cassette deck." Just remember, I want a cassette deck, not an 8-track, a cassette. And he opens it, and it's a fucking 8-track player. I know that whole feeling. You're like going, "Fuck, it's 8-track, fuck." I'd ask for like music, or you know, like when I was like for Christmas, and I get 8-tracks. It's like, fuck. You know?
Well, I tell you what, no format has disappeared faster than 8-track because when cassettes became affordable, 8-track disappeared like overnight. When CDs came out, 8-track or cassettes were still around for a long time, but 8-track fell off really quick.
Cassettes lasted longer than albums, like as far as the mainstream.
Oh yeah.
If you had an 8-track, you know, you would even if you had no money, you would somehow work, cut lawn, something, some way to replace that Craig Power Play 8-track with a Craig Power Play cassette deck. It's like whatever you had to do, you're replacing that son of a bitch. You know?
Yeah. No 8-tracks in my life.
Oh God, dude! Thank your rookie stars you did. You know.
When I went to visit
I had a
family,
Craig with an 8-track and the stacker turntable.
How do you have an 8-track in your car, Platoon? Or is it like an old an old Charger or something?
Yeah,
when I used to go back to Louisiana to see my family when I was a kid, we'd go into the old diners and stuff, and they would still have like 8-tracks.
Yeah, record
that was
clubs.
the only place I remember them in the 80s.
And those 8-tracks are very pricey. Those 8-tracks.
Yeah, record clubs hang on for a long time. Even like some of the metal
you'd
stuff
see
in the
them in
90s.
the truck stops, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think the record clubs held out because they just made so many of them that they had warehouses full of it.
Well, no, but I mean some metal stuff in the mid '90s you could only get on a club edition in the U.S. on vinyl.
Yeah,
you know?
I remember that. Yeah, like maybe Dio Lock Up the Wolves.
And they didn't sound bad. You know, this was when they actually got decent mastering and they put out good shit. You know, the later era club stuff is not bad. You know.
This is an album I've never owned. It's one I've always wanted to grab, and I've never owned a copy of it.
What, Rat Child America?
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I don't have
got
any
the
Rat
UK Rat Child. I've never owned a copy of this though.
I love the UK Rat Child.
Yeah,
that one record, it's almost new wavy. It's really bizarre.
That, and they've got an EP that's really good too that I like.
Yeah. I
The
think I have
drummer
the
Shannon
EP
Larkin
and singles.
played for Slayer for a while. I think he might still be in. He was in Slayer for a long time.
I've always wanted it. It's one of those things. I'll see it for either too much or it's in bad condition.
Yeah. But yeah, drummer Shannon Larkin in this band's amazing. They played the same circuit we did. We always see them. They're from Baltimore, I think.
Hey Patrick, since we brought it up, can you play Diamonds and Rust?
Nice.
Yeah. Although it's technically not in the Thin Lizzy wheelhouse, but it's okay.
It's got dual guitar.
Well, it's the dual guitar.
Yeah, it's got dual guitar.
Well, Journey's Greatest Hits doesn't sound that great on vinyl either, so. My first recording of anything was on 8-track, Aerosmith Rock. That was my first rip ever. I have quite a bit of Tigers of Pantang. I like them a lot.
I finally grabbed this one too, Vance. Do you have this one?
Is that a bootleg?
No.
No.
This is the only one I have.
This one's live at the Marquee
Yeah, check. I'm gonna find it.
from '83. I had it on CD. It's really good.
Interesting. Jimmy Bain got around a lot in that era, apparently.
All of those guys, Jimmy Bain, Tracy G was in a lot of bands. Vinny Appice was in a dozen band.
There it is. What was it, V3?
The boom time, it is over. A ghost town is all that's left here.
Soldier of Fortune.
I'm surprised I'm the only person that frickin' that picked a fucking Bad Reputation song. Off Bad Reputation. I mean,
I did Killer Without a Cause.
oh yeah, you did, Troy. But
You know, I looked at the Bad Reputation record. It was because I was going through. I didn't even think of that song for some reason because it was the title track.
And I thought about what's the first song on there?
Yeah, I had some.
Bad Reputation.
No, that's not the first song on the album, is it?
No,
Isn't it?
Soldier of Fortune.
Soldier of
Oh,
Fortune.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought about Soldier of Fortune too. I love that song.
There's not a bad song on that album.
No, that's.
Oh,
you
actually,
could
yeah,
say-
I had. I picked Southbound. This was in my top 10. And then
It wasn't in your
Dancing
top
in the
5. It wasn't in
No,
your top
no,
5.
I'm saying it was in my top 10.
Well,
No.
fuck that, dude. We all had a top 10. We didn't talk about it, though.
No, I'm just talking about the album. I'm not.
We all had a top 10.
Yes, I know. I'm just talking about what songs.
I know.
How I'm just saying how I missed Bad Reputation.
Yeah, but you said, even on your list, you said, well, I'm going to take this one out. You kind of
Yeah.
like screwed the system and like said, you got 9 in, so.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say
it's
Fighting is
Southbound,
probably
and
my
I would've
favorite
picked
album, but Bad
Dancing
Reputation
in
is
the
probably
Moonlight.
number 2.
This might be the worst produced record out of the batch, and it's Tony Visconti.
Really?
It just sounds a little muddy 70s to me.
Even worse than like, the self-titled album?
I'm not talking about the first 3.
All right. So
From
this era,
fighting,
this era,
from fighting
this
on,
era.
like
Okay, I got you. I think this is better produced than fucking Jailbreak, though. Jailbreak's kind of muddy.
It feels like there's I don't know. To me,
That's a good
But I
list,
could be
Jeffrey.
wrong.
That's a good list. It's a good mix of everything. I'm with you, Terry. That was kind of cool, that bass lick. He usually didn't throw those things in there, and he did it on that part right there.
I'm going southbound.
Get the reissue. It sounds great.
Yeah, it took me a long time to find a nice U.S. pressing, original U.S. pressing of that one.
Yeah, I have yet to find one.
I don't think that album sold very well here. I don't think it was even, pushed very much.
Well, it was the next album when they blew up, so
Yeah, it wasn't. But when I finally discovered it, I was like, "Holy crap, man!"
Didn't Phil get hepatitis on one of those tours where they had to leave, and right when they were about to break, and he got sick, and they had to leave the States.
No, I don't even know.
I don't know when that was.
The other one that took me forever to find was a nice copy of Johnny the Fox. Everyone I found was always trash.
Yeah, mine's Nightlife's the worst one.
Mine is so beautiful. It sounds so good.
All right, let me go see what I got.
That album's one of my best sounding records. That Johnny the Fox.
That one, Chinatown, sounds really good too. I love the sound of that one.
Johnny the Fox would be like one of those records, like with Avalon by Roxy Music, where I'll test, Back in Black. Like,
oh yeah.
It sounds that good.
Yeah, I get it.
Ludwig, the bass, it's so good.
Yeah, Chinatown's great, man. It's just an underrated album,
Yeah.
And by 80, 81, everybody was switching to, more of the heavy metal sound.
Yeah, it's a heavy metal record, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, guys that were listening to that were listening to heavy metal bands over Thin Lizzy at that point,
Nice, Mick. That's such a great sounding record.
This guy's a huge Thin Lizzy fan. Don Norum. My Bad Reputation cover is the pristine.
Nice.
This is the U.S., I think. Yep. I have an original Decca, Shades of the Blue Orphanage. This one's good.
I don't have
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't have the early ones.
Renegade.
Nice.
My Johnny the Fox is in good shape. Nice. This is the Vertigo. This is the UK version. If it's in the US on the Jailbreak, yeah. UK Live and Dangerous.
Awesome.
I got the UK Live and Dangerous.
UK Live and Dangerous. One of these will be on an auction sometime. I have two.
I got a nice.
UK Fighting. This one's really good. I like this one a lot.
This was a little cutout, but still
I
pretty
guess
clean.
my Bad Reputation's not that bad. I thought it had more spring there.
A US Jailbreak. Here's my German Jailbreak. I got this Thin Lizzy Black Rose for $1.
What about this one, Patrick?
What is that? Is that the Japanese or Vinyl Be Pleased?
Vinyl Be
Pleased. I heard that's pretty good.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
The UK sounds better, but it sounds really good.
Black Rose for $5.
Lizzy Killers. Oh, there you
Manila
go.
Road.
No, it's the same artist, James Fitzpatrick, who did Johnny the Fox. Yeah, Johnny the Fox, and one of the other ones, I think.
Did anybody choose anything from Black Rose?
Yeah,
Well,
I had. Did I have?
Did you It might have been in John's top 10.
Toughest street. in
Oh
town.
yeah, toughest street in town. Yeah,
This is the toughest.
yeah. This is Gary Moore too. Yeah, yeah.
Is that a promo?
Yeah. I got a bunch of promos. I got this one. I got Renegade, a promo. I've got Chinatown, a promo of Chinatown, and I've got a promo of History.
This is the Life.
Okay.
Live.
Yeah, I only have that on CD.
Actually, on a promo of this one too. I've got 2 promos of Black Rose. So what I did was one of the shops I used to buy from bought a huge collection from a radio station here that closed down, and they put all the Thin Lizzy out the same day for like $10. I bought them all. It's like 10, 12 years ago.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, here's the
I don't tend to listen to what Ogie the Ripper says, but that's just me.
a U.S. copy of right here.
I have that as well. I like all the John Norm stuff. I'm a big John Norm fan. He's a huge Thin Lizzy guy.
I don't think anybody did Nightlife either. Did anybody pick a song of Nightlife?
There's
I
nothing
thought-
on. No, I didn't have anything that came in the running.
I thought I heard somebody
I
say.
thought about Banshee because I like that song, but that's about it.
I had she knows on my scratch list. I thought somebody mentioned Showdown too.
Well, some people did. I mean, someone had Sarah as their in the top 5.
These sound pretty cool too. Have you seen these, Patrick? These are from maybe 10 years ago. Decca did these with Obi on the side.
Oh, those are cool. I've never seen those.
Yeah, they did the first 3 albums, and they all have the little Obi with them.
But it was kind of weird because a year later they did those reissues by Greg Moore. So
Yeah, these were. I don't even know what year.
look at the Dead Wax. Does it say Final Tweak? What does it say in the Dead Wax?
I can't really read it.
Here comes the months together. But that's so unusual.
Yeah, they don't say Final Tweak.
What does it say? Just the barcodes for the pressing plant.
It's got they're golden. It's got the golden stamp first.
No.
These were 2015.
That's weird. They would do that.
Hold that label up. Could I just see that?
Decca.
What is Decca? I was gonna say it looks like an old Decca. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, these are done by Decca. These are actually done by Decca.
Okay.
And when did that
They did
come
the
out?
first 3 you said?
Yeah, they did the first 3, and they did Rodriguez, and then I don't know what the bottom one is. Narrowin, I don't know what that is.
What year was it?
Hey Frank.
2015.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vance had picked. You were here earlier. Vance had picked the rocker in his top 5. Didn't make the
I don't see those at Discogs at all yet. So you said 2015?
Yeah. I've got to have it in my Discogs. Let me look.
Yeah, post a link in the private chat. I'm curious what these are.
Yeah, I saw that. Is that the opening track?
It's all come back to me. I love you dearly. Yeah, who did that originally?
Spooky Tooth, right?
Yeah. I had that record.
I only heard it on the. I never heard the. It took me years to hear the original. I heard it on the radio one time.
Isn't that is it that song that they play backwards, the suicide and all that?
Yeah, I think so.
Better by You, right? That was the one.
Yeah.
That they recorded with, yeah.
They also covered Gun Race with the Devil, but it wasn't released, only as like a bonus track years later.
Who covered it?
Judas Priest.
Oh, really?
In the 80s. Yeah.
I love those 2 Gun albums.
Yeah, it's on one of those, like, I got the remastered, those CDs.
Thank you.
I forget what album, maybe like British Steel or, one of those, like, early 80s.
I probably
records.
got it somewhere then. I'm just not But
Yeah, it was never. I mean, as far as I know, it wasn't released. But maybe like Lazarus has it on some 12-inch.
well, yeah, and I've got a bunch of 12-inch
Austria.
for them
Yeah.
too. But I might have it. That's not coming to mind though, and I love that song.
Yeah, they do great, of course. But you can't do it bad.
I love that first Gun album. The second one's pretty good too, but
That's interesting. That's an interesting list. That's an interesting pressing of that theme. Very interesting.
Well, one of my local stores had all three of them for like $20, so I grabbed them. And
because they just did a reissue like a year before, so that's what's weird.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen them in any other stores though, other than that one that I bought them from. And I bought them right when they came out. So it would have been.
I mean, in 2014, they had a full reissue of the entire catalog. That's weird. So anyway, kind of like the Deep Purple's done the same thing. So yeah.
I've got this one too. Another Japanese comp. It's called the Japanese compilation.
Like I said, the 2014 reissue is done by Greg Moore, and Final Tweaks sound great. I mean, if you can't find an original or you don't want to pay an arm and a leg, you know, they will do you fine. You won't be upset.
Yeah, here's the tape of Blue Orchid in that same series.
Oh, nice.
That jacket looks beautiful.
How much did you pay for those?
Like $23 when they
You
came
can still
out.
get them now. They're like $25. You can still get them now.
Yeah, I just don't have the money, but man, I don't have those records. They've been, you know, I'd always want to run across them.
Well, that's why I bought them, because every time I see originals, they're just trash, you know?
Yeah, very rare you see those records in America.
What a good solo this is.
This is great. I should revisit that.
Yeah, and each one has a different color Decca label, too.
That's cool.
This one's light blue, one of them's red. The other one's
So I
dark
think the original of that is light blue. I have the original. Let's see.
This was a cool box set. I might have showed this. It was probably you have this, Steve. Do you maybe? It's a CD box set, but it's got 4 shows of the Chapman era, like 80, 81, 82, and another 82.
I haven't
But
seen
the
that
original
box.
has
Really
the light
fun.
green.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's period correct. Yes, Jeff Ponka.
But it's fun putting these CDs in the car and listen, because the set lists are slightly different. Like
Oh, is that a CD box?
Yeah, it's a CD, and it came with an LP of the
Okay.
but the LPs of the original band. It's kind of weird. 72. It was cheap. You know, I don't know what it is now. It comes with all this just crappy like baloney in there. Books.
Did you see this one, John? The Strangers in the Night box?
Crappy balloon.
Yes, I want to get that. Yes.
I did get that. Is that all the,
Chance has
all
it,
the shows? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the shows plus the deluxe version
Extras.
out. Dude, this was in my truck for like 4 months. That's all I was listening
I was playing all the shows. I listened to them all. Yeah. I love stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They put that. I was like, this is cool because they put all the shows on there.
Yeah.
Well, in the hard, I was trying to figure out in my head as I listened which song was coming from which show, and I couldn't fucking do it.
Oh, yeah.
I know I mentioned it before, but Motorhead brought this in the set the last couple of tours.
Oh, really? I found a copy of his last, the show right at. Who died right before him?
Before who?
Before Lemmy. Who from Motorhead died like a month?
It must have been Eddie Clark, but I thought he died after, but I can't remember. But Phil Taylor definitely died after. Maybe it was Eddie Clark died first?
Hey, well, whatever show I have is like the week after he died, and then like a month and a half before Lemmy died. And it's not a good show. I mean, he doesn't sound great. You can tell he's already not doing good.
And
but it's still cool to have.
Yeah, and whatever facts I'm saying, it could be completely wrong.
I can't remember who it was, but one of them died like a month and a half before Lemmy did.
Yeah, I felt like Phil Taylor died after, and then it was like,
I think Phil Taylor died afterward.
Yeah, because I think after he died, I remember saying like, "Oh, there's no one left of the original lineup." But you wouldn't have said that with Lemmy, because
maybe Wurzel died within a month of Lemmy. When did Wurzel die?
So Fast Eddie died in January 2018. When did Lemmy die? It was like December. Was it 2019 when he died?
I think so.
It might have went Eddie, Lemmy, and then Phil Taylor.
Oh, wow.
I thought Phil went before Lemmy.
Maybe.
Oh, man. I can't believe it's been that long. Lemmy died in 2015.
Okay. And when did Eddie Clark die?
That can't be right. It hasn't been that long, has it?
Lemmy died in 2015, yes.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Wow.
What about Eddie Clark? When did he die?
18.
18. And when did Phil Taylor die?
That's what I'm looking at now.
And he died first?
Phil Taylor died in 2015.
Okay,
he was the one that was
Fast
close.
Fast Eddie Clark. Well, no, Fast Eddie died in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, so he died last. Okay.
So it was
well, Wurzel died like early.
So the concert that I have a live album of is like a week or two after Phil died and like a month and a half before Lemmy died.
Well, Wurzel died in 2011. So they all didn't. None of those guys died that close.
But Wurzel wasn't there for that long.
Well, no, Phil and Lemmy died a month apart. Phil died in November 2015. Lemmy died in December 2015. So anyway, the last live album that they officially released was that show between their two deaths. So he does kind of a tribute to Phil, but you can hear in his voice that he's not doing good. But then when he does like Bomber and when he does Ace of Spades, you can hear him, like his energy come back for those early songs, Yay! But because it was one of his last shows, they were selling it for like $40. And there's a fold out of like the Bomber stage that pops up when you open it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I finally got a copy of it for like $23. But it's a cool show. I don't remember how we got on that subject. But.
We were just talking live records. Yeah. Box sets.
Yeah, but Phil Taylor died in 2015, and then Eddie Clark died in 2018.
Yeah, I know, but I was talking about
the distance with Lemmy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they died a month apart, Phil and Lemmy.
Like the month of their death?
What is
that was a rough couple years, man. Lemmy died, and then Bowie died, and then, man.
The video for this song is great. If you've ever seen the video for this song, it shows Matthew McConaughey as Wooderson, going into a club. It's just, he's full on Wooderson. It's great. That was a crazy month for me, though, because Lemmy died end of December. The end of January, David Bowie died like a month later.
Yeah.
When did Dio die? Was it earlier? It was before Lemmy, but was it?
Oh, yeah. It was
many
like
years?
2012 or something, wasn't it?
It was 2012.
I'm just... Yeah, but...
A couple years before, okay.
2010.
10?
Wow, yeah, so it's 5 years before.
And Dio was only 67.
Is it the original back in 72 or one of the many reissues of back in 72?
That was a hard album to find, too, back in 72.
So this guy was in South Gang, I think. So he was in that hair metal band South Gang, Bush Walker.
This does nothing for me.
Reminds me of a Come On Eileen.
Actually, it does. Funny.
I love Come On Eileen, so obviously that's why I like it.
You guys know this band?
The Unruly Child, what did it say?
Yeah, Unruly Child.
Yeah.
It's a band. It's a glam band or a glam band from '92. I was a blind bud. One of the wrote on.
What's the back look like? Is there a picture of him? Yeah. Yep. Definitely that crossover.
Throwback metal band.
You can kind of see you got the metal guys here and then the side is gray. Kind of like the '90s look.
Yeah, but even just the photograph, the way it's photographed is nice.
Yeah.
You know,
They got the pretty boy and up front and personal,
The guy with remember those Indian feather necklaces?
yeah.
So here is your new Thin Lizzy right here. These guys are carrying on the Thin Lizzy vibe.
I don't like the guitar tone.
I already told you about those East Side Angels. They roam around down on flat shows Avenue. A little bit wild,
From Steve's neck of the woods.
they'll surely play you for a fool. I know you think you got a shot in the dark.
What's weird is though his drummer is like a Nigel Dupree, who's Jesse James Dupree's son, who had his own band, who had like 2 albums of him playing guitar on and sang on. This guy's a big
Reminds me of
Thin
like
Lizzy
Poison
fan.
trying to do Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
Yeah.
these
I mean, it's not terrible.
terrible.
It's a decent song. It sounds like a little 80s. This has that Joe Jackson kind of feeling too.
You have Black Strip, Patrick?
Which one?
Black Strip.
Is that a band?
Yeah. They're one of the bands that one of the original new wave of traditional metal bands that have that kind of Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, they're almost like Thin Lizzy meets Diano Maiden.
Yeah, really good.
No, I don't have that one.
Yeah, those are good. And then that other band, Swedish one.
Yeah, the production's not great. I like the song though.
The other Swedish one. The guy's got like a little weird voice, almost like an Ozzy voice, but very Lizzy.
Yeah, I like his vocals. I'm with John. I don't like the guitar on this. That sounds better, but
This sounds like Thin Lizzy. This is the Thin Lizzy part of the song right here.
Yeah.
It still has that Rockman guitar sound though. Doesn't sound like an amp.
All these bands do their shit in their own bathroom. So they don't have
The
studio.
Dead Lord.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
they
very,
did
very,
they did a
very
split
Thin
with
Lizzy.
them. Did they do a split with them and Black Strip?
A single?
Yeah.
I have a single.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dead Lord and Black Strip did a split
Okay.
together.
I don't have that. I have another split. No.
What was the other band? What Trip?
What's
What was
that?
the other band you mentioned? What was that? Trip?
Please, this is
Yeah,
Black Trip.
that's
This
their first
is-
album. Yeah,
Yeah, wait. I can't remember. Is this the first album?
that's the second album.
Okay.
The bass,
Yeah.
that's the first album. Yeah,
Very like piano Maiden, but it's got Lizzy guitars.
they're really good.
And the second one I think is even more Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
Shadowline.
Now, the truly best Thin Lizzy song of all time. Yeah.
So what did the poll end with?
Hang on, let me go look. Hold on.
Oh, it's changed it quite a bit, but it's Emerald, yeah.
Emerald's still up on top.
I still can't believe Suicide only got 13.
And we're all crazies in a close second.
No, that's in third now.
Is it third? Oh, I see.
Yeah, second is Rosalie and Cowgirl Song.
Oh, yeah,
Rosalie
yeah,
second. We're in third. You guys have no clue. And Suicide's getting no love whatsoever. So,
Even after you played it.
yeah.
I think Black Trip was two guys from Enforcer, right? If I remember. I think
This
it's like
is
the
not
bass
Matchbox
player.
20 doing Thin Lizzy. Jesus.
So Black Trip was a weird one. Hang on. I don't think it was the guy from Enforcer. I thought it was totally different guys.
It was Brian Downey's best work on this song, by the way.
One of the guys was from Dismember and Exhumed.
Check the bass. Look up if you can. The bass player, Johan.
Okay, the drummer
Bergenbach.
was from Enforcer.
What about the bass player? I feel like he was. but
No,
maybe
the
not.
bass player was from Dismember and from Exhumed.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm looking at the guitar
I
player.
feel like it was someone I recognized. I saw Enforcer. I never saw these guys.
The
but I feel
guitar
like it
player was from Entombed as well.
What about the lead singer? Was he the bass player from?
That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, the singer was from Enforcer.
Yeah, I think the singer was the bass player from Enforcer, and he was great. That's what it is. So it's two guys, yeah.
So it's all guys from Exhumed and from Enforcer.
Yeah, and I think that's why they could do the Maiden, Lizzy. Like they didn't have to be their own sound. They just like.
And then one of the guys left the band, and they broke up Black Trip, and they started DOJD, which is
Yeah, I never heard. I
It's
remember
basically the
that.
same thing, and it's a really good album too.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
remember
the
when
same
they
thing.
broke
It's
up.
Thin Lizzy. It's basically Thin Lizzy worship.
Yeah, I feel like because it was like a vanity project, like a side project, they could say, "Hey, let's do a Thin Lizzy thing," you know.
I don't know why they didn't just keep the Black Trip name for the third album, and you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to start fresh, you know, because like if you didn't make traction with the first two.
What's the name?
never
What's
know.
the
Now
name,
though, and it's not the same. It's the same singer. You know what I mean? So
what's
Yeah,
the name
but
of the? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I have nothing to say.
I'm saying, Swift, though, can you give me an album title for that band? Because every Survivor I look for says, like, you know, I am the Tiger Survivor, so. So if you can give me an album title so I can find it. I think this is the Gilbert Collin Columbia Santa Maria, I do believe.
I believe there's a Canadian. Isn't there a Canadian thrash band called Survivor?
I don't know. So, any other Thin Lizzy song you feel got slighted that I should play before we close this thing out? So,
Did you play that one for John?
oh, Cold Sweat. We're supposed to do Cold Sweat. That's right. Sorry. I promise I do Cold Sweat. Thunder and Lightning.
Oh, there's a Chicago band from the '70s called Survivor.
Really?
No, I'm joking. That's it.
Thanks, Patrick.
That is the Survivor.
There we go. Found it. Whoa, that's a $300 album. Holy shit. Oh, they're from Shreveport, Louisiana? Holy shit.
Really.
Have a good night, Terry.
See you, Terry.
See you, Terry. Thanks for being here.
Oh, I've seen that album. Rocketdrome has a Rocketdrome did a Recess Fest Survivor album.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
it's
been on
CD
record
reissue.
for a while. I gotta stay away
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah, I remember that from the Rocketdrome website. I forgot about that. Have a good night, Terry.
Happy Memorial Day. We're off tomorrow. Yay!
Yep.
Yeah, the vinyl's uber expensive. Mega expensive.
That's surprised Rock and Drum hasn't done that one on vinyl. They're pretty good about.
So if you have a copy of that on vinyl, Swift-O-Matic, you want to let me borrow it, I will gladly record it. But yeah. What's weird is playing this song. I actually listened to the band Cold Sweat today, a little bit, like half their album.
I actually listened to this album today to get ready for tonight, and then didn't pick anything from the album. Actually, Cold Sweat I thought about, but
there was a lot of that going around. So I mean, I did that too, man. I was like going, how can I not put this song on here? How can I not put this song on here? How can I not do that? You know.
I listened to this and Bad Reputation today.
I didn't have to listen. I just tried to play an album that I didn't listen to a lot of. You know, one of those ones that's not in my top, 3 go-tos. You know.
I should have played Nightlife because I never listened
right
to
now.
that album.
Did you play one more? Or you,
Yeah.
You want to do Toughest Street in Town?
Sure.
Just put me in the
I
mood,
like
and
that song
I'm not
a lot.
working tomorrow.
Me neither. Well, I am working.
When was the last time you had a Monday off, John?
I got to get up early anyway, but
I got to
When
pack
last
up all
time you
these
had a Monday
records.
off?
All these records I sold today.
last
so.
holiday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess. Was that like President's Day?
But see, this is one of the. Thin Lizzy, one of those bands. It's like I hear the intro to this song and I go, wow, why did I pick this song? Why did I put this song on my list? I'm like going. Down. Such classic Thin Lizzy. I mean, everything you want. Hey, sorry.
Yeah, Dancing in the Moonlight crazy. That's not about that one.
I gotta play that one because that one would have been my honorable mention. Would have been Dancing in the Moonlight. I mean
That's one I did.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean that's accessible. It's got saxophone. It's everything.
Yeah.
And most of his songs tell a story. They're all telling a story.
Oh yeah.
He's got that desperateness in his voice,
And you really believe it when he said, "This is the toughest street in town, dude." I was a black kid in Dublin.
Well, he never lost his whole career. He never lost that working class town. Like a lot of bands lose it as they go on, and they never. And the storytelling, he always had it the whole time.
Oh man, Cleveland, you're worse than John. It's in my top 15. Fuck,
This was in my top 5, though.
Even the whole echo thing there, it's like so, Thin Lizzy. It was tough, Cleveland, definitely. And when you hear songs that you didn't pick, and you go, shit, I love that song,
See, this could have been like a follow-up, like the next. If this was a single, this could have been like the next Boys Back in Town, like years later. Like,
to me, it's a better song than Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, but like this should have been on the charts or something. Like Thin Lizzy's back.
I'm telling you, they were about to break, and Phil got hepatitis or something.
It's catchy, but it's not poppy or wimpy.
That's right. You don't have the night off. We have the morning. We have tomorrow off there, Oak and Chill. So. Yeah, jailbreak tour. They were just about to break, and they had to cut their tour short because they got hepatitis and had to fly home.
Good stuff.
I actually thought about Buffalo Gal too. I didn't see anybody list that one the whole night.
No,
Because the better song on that 45 is Little Darlin'.
Yeah, Little Darling's great too, but Buffalo. I mean, I love that one. Yeah, that's a great 45. I have that one.
Buffalo, 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 Buffalo. Maybe I'll play that because I played Little Darling on Friday. So.
When I passed you in the doorway, you took me with a glare. I should have took that last bus home, but I asked you for a dance. Now we go.
Actually, I have both versions. I have the Little Darling promo with Little Darling.
Hello, Isa. How you doing?
It's going crazy, says I'm living in a trance, but I'm dancing in the moonlight.
Look at those Thin Lizzy singles, though. One of the Johnny the Fox singles I have is like a $300 single that I bought for like $5.
Wow.
Really? Johnny the
I
Fox?
guess it was a UK only.
It's 3 o'clock.
I don't know what fun it is.
Happy birthday, Isa. Well, you know, yesterday was Star Trekker's 8th month anniversary for somebody or some sort of puppet. I didn't get it. I saw your video, Trekker, where it said 8th month anniversary, but I didn't know if it was like a doll or a Funko Pop or whatever what you were in love with. But there's no other woman involved. But I mean,
If it means to justify the ends, dancing in the moonlight. It's got me in its spotlight. It's alright.
that's kind of cruel, Trekker. That's not nice.
On this long hot summer night.
Your 34th birthday is the 28th. Okay, there you go. So you're not 28. You're 34 on the 28th.
well, it's the 28th year.
Yeah. So it's probably the 29th where you are, I think. Is that correct? I get that whole time change, that whole day change, like
The day change, yeah, it throws me off too.
All right, we don't want any Filipino drama here. We have enough with the whole German drama. We don't need German and Filipino drama in one spot. You guys all get along, okay? Guys
Yeah,
and gals.
it's the Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed promo.
Oh.
Is it an edit version? I wonder why.
It's a promo that go. It's like 100. I thought it was more. It's like $140.
That's still a
still a
lot
lot
of
for a
money for
single.
Thin Lizzy. For Thin Lizzy, for a song that's available on an album, you know.
And then
Usually
Old Flame.
Usually singles are expensive because the single's the only way to get the.
Well, happy birthday, Isa.
Yeah, even the cheapest one for sale right now is like $70, and that's in.
I wonder if it's an edit version and like people
I don't know.
spin it or something. Yeah.
It was one I bought one of the local shops got a whole collect of Thin Lizzy singles, and most of them are like $10, $12. You know.
Are you doing anything special for your birthday, Isa?
It's got me in its spotlight. It's alright dancing in the moonlight. On this long hot summer night. I'm dancing in the moonlight. It's got me in its spotlight.
I never saw them with Phil Lynott. I wish I would have.
It's got me hot. I'm dancing in the moonlight. It's got me alright, alright.
Yeah, I like the single for this one with just the black cover with Thin Lizzy on the Thin Lizzy and gray on the cover. Or on the
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with their singles. It's like pictures.
I think I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the logo from Fighting, the Thin Lizzy, and it's just a
Yep.
gray outline on a black cover. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I said
don't
it
have any
before, but we
singles.
saw the Phil Lynott. It was like an exhibition in a museum, and it was all his stuff. But they had the big stage thing. It was that logo, except it was all a mirror.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Is Anna going to be there too?
Buffalo gal, you've had your fun. times ripe for slaughter. Buffalo gal.
Okay, we haven't played any song off Renegade, so we have to play at least one song off Renegade.
Was this their first major single?
I don't know. Was it a hit?
I'm pretty sure it was for them.
Oh, I did play a Renegade song. I played Angel of Death. So I have not played anything off of. I haven't played anything off of Chinatown though. Even though it was on my list, so I'll play my song off Chinatown.
Like Chinatown.
Play Killer on the Loose.
No,
that was in my top 10. Come on.
Was that
Hey, John, you've listed 40 in your top 10 tonight.
No, it was. I have them printed. I'm not
joking.
Sweetheart was in my top 5, not my top 10. Okay.
Yeah, Genocide's great, Jeff. That almost made my list too. Actually,
I'm kidding.
I chose Massacre off Johnny the Fox instead of Genocide.
Massacre is a great tune, and should have made my list.
It probably made one of your lists.
My top 11.
Your top 11, yeah.
Buffalo gal.
This song just goes a little bit too long for me.
I got one of the local record shop owners, the guitar player. He's been in a bunch of local bands since the 70s. But he's a huge Eric Bell fan. And his big joke was always that Eric Bell was so good it took 2 guitarists to replace him.
Whatever makes you justify your love of Eric Bell, I guess is okay. Yeah. Where's our poll at now? Are we done with the poll?
I'm sure it's the same.
Yep. I'm going to end the poll. The final poll is Emerald at 35. Oh, we're tied. Rosalie and you guys have no clue at 23. I'm going to let it stay open a bit to see if we might break the tie. So I'm rooting for us to have no clue.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given.
Yeah.
You don't have to vote on that.
That's so hard, though. It's very hard, man, to try to pick a top, number 1 Thin Lizzy song. I mean, that's hard.
Well, and Emerald's one of those one of those songs that whether you're a Thin Lizzy fan or not, you probably like that album or that song.
Well, sounds like Boys Are Back in Town is like probably the definitive. Like if someone knows the Thin Lizzy song, it's Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah. Well, and how many movies was Boys Are Back in Town in?
It's so funny when I was back home. I was back home with the band reunion, so I used to manage the band, and we'd play this every Saturday on the beach. We'd play, this club called Sammy's, and the guy who played bass, this guy named Mike Hobb, this crazy dude, crazy motherfucker, man, but super nice guy, but we'd be playing, man, and every time we'd play a cowboy song, all of a sudden the bass would drop out, and you see Mike like leaned up against a pool table, bass hanging, just like chugging a Lone Star. Every fucking time, man, it's like the bass would just drop off, and there's Hoff like just drinking a beer. It's like they would give us free beer all night till the first keg ran out. So we were all like 18, 17, 16, making like $200 a night, playing this club. And getting free beer, it was like, so we were all hammered. I was the manager because I could buy beer, and so all I would do was like run the little 8-channel PV board and like put on reverb during like Led Zeppelin and shit. I did nothing. I just got drunk, but it was so much fun, just every time I hear a cowboy song, I think of every time we played it, he was just like chug a beer and just like let the bass hang, lean up against the pool table. So. So what is a buffalo gal? I'm sure that's some sort of meaning back in like England, was probably some sort of.
He used it in Wonderful Life too. There's a song called Buffalo Gal.
Well, Buffalo Gal's an old tune, like an old.
Yeah, Buffalo Gal. What's come out tonight? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with Ireland or whatever.
That's it. So the Thin Lizzy's best-selling song is "Boys Are Back in Town." Their best charting song was "Whiskey in a Jar."
So the name of the song may be "Sweetheart," but it's not a mellow song.
They have a lot of songs like that. Oh wow, Waiting for an Alibi is their third best-selling.
Really?
That's good.
Yeah, nobody mentioned Waiting for an Alibi tonight, did they?
I don't think anybody put it even on the chat. Put it on their
Yeah,
list.
that's a great song too.
I think it was in my top 10.
Your top 10 is like a top 100.
No,
Yeah.
yes, it was. It was in my top 10. No, I have them written down. I'm not changing it. Yeah, it was definitely in there. Yeah. Jailbreak, Wait for an Alibi, Rosalie.
Listen to the
Outbound.
listen to the double lead here. How cool is this?
What's crazy is they never had a
It
number
was
one.
shut down.
Oh, we got shut down. Really? All right.
They never had a number one song. That's crazy.
You got popped.
You know what's weird? I was listening to Genesis, and Genesis never had a number one album in the United States ever.
Genesis?
and-
Really?
And
No,
actually,
not
they,
an album. Not an album.
Invisible Touch didn't get number.
No. In the
Wow.
UK it did, but never in the US.
so "Whiskey in a Jar" is their top charting at number 6, and then "Boys Are Back in Town" was 8, and then "Waiting for an Alibi" was 9. Most of their stuff was in the 20s and 30s.
Whiskey in a Jar was number 6 in America?
No, it was
No,
oh.
UK.
the UK.
Okay, I was going to say that was nothing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
UK.
They in the US they never
They
went above 30.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
But I figured "Whiskey in a Jar." I mean, "The Boys Are Back in Town" would have charted higher.
Well, when did Whiskey in a Jar chart that high? Was it after Metallica did the cover, or when it was?
No,
originally done?
it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
But that's also that
Boys
album.
Are Back in
also-
Town are is like one of those classic rock, like a Mississippi Queen that just
Oh, yeah. It's a
perennial.
Well, that album was also.
That's mailbox money. That's mailbox money there.
I
Yeah,
wonder
but
about the
they
album,
probably
though.
never charted, but they
It's
just
two
get
times.
played.
The album is 2 times platinum, Jailbreak. But I wonder how long it took them to get that. You know what I mean?
Well, they have to ask to be recertified. So
So I wonder if that was like in the 80s or 90s when they got it.
Yeah, because that was probably selling all along, like you said.
Yeah.
Because they weren't
there's
never
some weird ones,
they
too.
never were a stadium band. Like they still were playing like theaters and like maybe like those mid-size halls. Like so they I doubt there was ever a platinum record when it came out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And when was Jailbreak? That was what, like 76?
78.
78,
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
They still were smaller than UFO in America. Like believe it, UFO kind of almost they were playing arenas for a little bit, like in certain cities. Like
Yeah, well, Jailbreak
definitely-
was 76, but the tour was 78 where he got sick, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying at 70. So even 76, there weren't a lot of platinum records back then to start with.
A lot more today.
Well, today you can't even count because today they don't count the
Yeah,
record sales.
today it's like all about streaming. So
They
it's
got
like,
that ridiculous formula that makes no sense.
There's not a legit platinum album, probably other than Taylor Swift and probably Metallica. Which Metallica sold like 1 million pieces of vinyl of physical product last year, I think. But Taylor Swift is by far the biggest selling physical product.
I remember
now
seeing
we
an
got-
interview with Kevin DuBrow, and I'm not like the biggest fan, but it was interesting, like saying, "Do you realize how many albums we had to sell to get as big as we did?"
Yeah.
And 'cause it was in the '80s, like.
Yeah.
What he sold would have been like Taylor Swift numbers.
Oh, totally.
It's crazy. But he's
I
like,
mean,
this was a lot of records in the '80s you had to sell. Like,
a band like Trickster had a gold record.
yeah,
I mean,
and this
yeah.
interview was
and that's
before he died.
500,000 copies.
So he's like, all these bands in the charts. He's like, we outsold them like 20 times.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he died, he was talking probably mid '90s interview. But
Well,
it's
even the
crazy.
biggest bands, I mean, even like Motley Crue in the 80s, when their first 2 albums came out, they didn't go platinum then. They didn't go platinum until years later when they got bigger,
Yeah, but,
Yeah, but some of those bands
Shout
were
at the
platinum.
Devil was a big selling record. That was in every store. There was piles of it. The first one was, that kind of got reissued after the.
Well, yeah, and that one went platinum a lot later. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and people bought it after they bought Shout at the Devil.
I think Theater of Pain is the one that really broke them, though, because Theater of Pain is when the videos hit, and then everybody went back and started listening to.
And that's when the girls bought the records.
Yeah.
It was just like the dude. I mean, it was the metal girls, but like it was just basically dudes buying it, and then that broke to the suburbs and the mainstream.
Yeah, and then they did Dr. Feelgood, and I think that one's like 10 or 12 times platinum. That one's crazy.
Yeah, that's diamond, isn't it?
Girls in it.
It's weird the way they do it. So I'm looking here. So it was 6-time platinum in the U.S., but then 3 times platinum in. I don't know. I don't get how they do the diamond, because you would think they sold over 10 million copies total, but the way the RIA used to do it, it was really weird. Because I remember I think it was Mariah Carey that they made the diamond thing for, because she sold so many of one of her albums that they created that whole diamond.
Well, Def Leppard, Pyromania, and Hysteria were both like a.
Yeah.
Did Steve just kick himself out? Well.
All
right, people. I got to go anyway. It's like way past time.
It was a fun night, Patrick. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I hit the back button. All right, you guys have a good night.
I enjoyed that.
Steve, good hanging out.
Great. We won't be here next Sunday, but maybe the Sunday after that we will do the top 5 UFO songs. So start thinking about that, John. Start
We do
writing
UFO,
down your.
we do the Scorpions.
We'll do the UFO, and then I want to see John come up with a top 15 list. Oh, I narrowed it to 15, and Sarah said I got 15. So it's like, here's my top 5 with 10 extra.
Come on for this one. This way we'll have 10. We'll have 10 in the family.
You're going to bring your wife on so you get 10. Oh, I see how it goes.
This is our top.
Yeah. This is Sarah has her own top 10, and coincidentally, they don't even match mine. No. Matches mine.
It would be better if they matched, because then we'd already have.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, fuck! Now you're trying to game the system. Oh, man.
But Cherry would be up there for me, but it probably not with her. But
Love to Love has got to be number 1 for me. I mean, that's number 1 for me. Lights Out, Rock Bottom. I mean, oh god. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about it in 2 weeks. So yeah.
All right, guys.
Jesus.
All right, people. I will see y'all. I'm going to start packaging up stuff, and I'll mail it out. And thanks everyone for who's at the auction. And I'll see y'all on Tuesday. I don't have a theme yet, so I'll probably.
Are we back online, or are we still away?
Yeah, we're back online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just
Cheers, everyone out there.
Because I don't want to get a strike. I just got my strike lifted.
Quicksand, Andy, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night, y'all.
Everybody.
I'll start shipping out packages tomorrow.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye. See ya.